Good morning and welcome to Sewing Street. I'm John Cole Morgan and it's so nice to have you this morning. This is my first 3-hour special. I'm so excited. I've got so many amazing, wonderful things to show you today. If you haven't shopped with us before, the main way to buy with us today would be from our website, which is www.sewingstreet.com. Failing that, if you feel like calling our UK-based call centre, that number is 0800 001 4433. Any questions or queries you may have, you will be able to answer them. They'll be able to answer that very easily for you. Obviously, in our current circumstances and where we are, you may have to wait a little bit longer for your call to be answered. We are working on a bit of a skeleton crew, but obviously in these days, you don't mind waiting a few more seconds for your call to be answered. Here we're keeping everything going. We're on a skeleton crew. It's myself and Joe is in the room over there, all keeping our 2-meter distances away from one another, which is great. And we're just so pleased to be able to still be with you and to keep everything going. So because you're with us for bright and early this morning, I want to tell you about our beautiful early bird sale. We've had this on before, but because it's sold so well in our early bird, and it's such a fabulous product, I'm pleased that we're able to bring it back to you. We've got the wonderful scissor gift set from Millwood in rose gold. You've got the dress shears here, which are just lovely. You've got these small little embroidery scissors. You've got some pins with rose gold top and a really lovely thimble, and that for the amazing price of only $14.99. Just with these scissors alone, you would be paying around that price. Just such a really lovely heavyweight dressmaking shears, really lovely product. So if you are looking for something new and exciting and very fashionable, please check that out in our early bird. And we're doing the early bird so they'll go on the website until such time as they all sell out. So don't hang about. It's a really great product and it sold so well the last time we had it on. So we're pleased to be able to bring that back to you. Really lovely present for Easter perhaps, or just a really nice thing to have in your sewing room. Just a really lovely product. So we've got loads of wonderful fabrics with us today. I'm so excited. You know what I like, a good bit of fabric. So today we're going to start off with these wonderful bold coloured fat quarter sets. These are really lovely. Just look at those colours. They're just so vibrant. These are called the Easy Basic Bright Pack of 8 fat quarters. And just look at those colours. Those would just live beautifully in any sewing set. Just so pretty and vibrant. Really lovely product. They're lightweight, but the good thing with that is at that price, you're able to get 8 fat quarters for $12.99. You don't mind having a bit of a play with them, and they just go so well together. You can make loads of different things with it. You could do lightweight dresses and things for kids. Let me show you what we've got here. I'm going to take this beautiful pink one out at the top. They're just such lovely fabric. So just so you can see how much you're getting, you can see this is the lovely fat quarter on that. And they just feel really soft and silky. And that's just a really lovely colour as well. I just think the bundle that they've made, it's so vibrant and so fun. How on earth did they fold these? One day I'll get the folding right. But it's not today. I'm not going to be able to get that back in. So you can just see this really beautiful colourway. Lovely product. And such a great price for you to be able to enjoy something. And then we've got the pastel colour to go with it. Now, I used this pastel colour in our EPP show a couple of days ago, and you just see how beautifully well they go together. They just work so well together. Look at those colourways. It's just, these ones just look like a really bright rainbow, and these ones just look like really light little sweets. So these ones are the bright ones, and then these ones are the pastel ones. And again, a really lovely, luxurious feeling, soft, lightweight fabric. Really lovely. Also with a fat quarter on that, the same size as the pink. This is obviously not included in this bundle, but I'll just give you an idea to show you size-wise what you're going to be getting. So it's working out at £1.61 a fat quarter. You really can't go wrong with that. This is not included in the pastel pack. It's just to give you an idea of the size, because I don't want to destroy another pack of fabric and not being able to fold it back again. Look at it, I can't even fold it right. But the pastel is just such a lovely, soft, beautiful colourway. I just love these. They just make me sing, and they're just very happy. And again, you can use these for dresses, you could make these for little clothing bits. If you want to practice your quilting, a really good way of doing it as well. Lots of different uses for them. It's a really lovely product, that. So now, we had this last time we were in. Now, I don't have a mannequin to tie this onto, but you can see this squiggly green. This is our extra wide double-sided back, not double-sided, our extra wide backing. That's half. So you can see you've got that there, and then you've got it again. This is 108 wide backing, and it's for $8.99 for a half metre. Now, I love this green. I think it's really lovely and vibrant, and you can do loads with it. You make these for, we had people telling us they were making curtains for their children's rooms. It's just a really lovely colour, and just so nice and fresh and a bit springy and bouncy. It just brings a little bit of zing to your, I suppose you could make clothes out of that as well. But the thing I love about it is that you'll be able to take these and cut them into sections. And if you want to practice free motion embroidery or free motion quilting, cut a section out and then just follow the squiggly lines with your sewing machine. So you can see you've got all these wonderful squiggly lines, where sometimes if you're doing free motion embroidery, you're a bit nervous to draw on the fabric, or you're just not quite sure what you're doing. And it's such a great price. You could then do this very easily with your sewing machine, drop your feed dogs down and start using your free motion foot and just going around. You could do this perhaps in a red or a yellow, just to be able to practice your free motion on. It's just a really lovely, lovely product. I think that'd be quite nice to do that in. So we had this in 3 colours originally, and the other 2 have sold out. It was just such a great product, and this colour is just so vibrant. I'm not sure we've got that much left of it, but please, if you are interested, make sure you grab that into your basket. We've got a one-day P&P, which is $3.95. So if you bought something now that you've liked, and then later on in the next 2-hour shows that we have, you like something there as well, you only pay the one P&P. So you don't have to add that postage on twice. You just get it for the once. And whether that's on the website or in the call centre, you're only doing that once during the day. So hopefully that'll be able to encourage you to do those. So now we've got a really cute, fun, oh my gosh, little feline friends. So this is a bundle. We've got a panel, and we've got, is it 2 half meters? Got a panel, which is this one, and then 2 half meters. This is by the designer Michael Miller. Anybody who knows Michael Miller knows how wonderful his product is. Oh, look how cute they are. They're just so adorable. I'm sorry, I have to do this. Look at the little kitty cat playing with a ball of wool. And you can see there, you've got the cats all looking bemused. Oh, they're just so adorable. Not sure if this is working quite as well as I thought it would. You can just see these really cute panel. So the only way you can get this panel, unfortunately, is in the bundle, but it's such a great price there, which is £19.49. You get the panel and a metre. Really cute little panel, that. And then as a bundle, you can see, I've got to keep the little kitty cat there, and then you're getting a half metre of each of these 2 fabrics as well as the bundle. So I'm going to show these out to you on your own. Oh, and look at them. Aren't they just vibrant? The phone is reverberating. Look at them, they all look so happy and sleepy, and it's just so cute. Look at the kitty cats in the boxes. They're really cute. I think anybody who liked a kitty would definitely can see their cat in some way there. Really cute. That Michael Miller knows what he's doing. So that's the first half metre of fabric with that panel. This is the second half metre. Oh my goodness, and look at these little balls. Just look at those. All the favourite words with kitties there. You've got meow, purr, kitty, hello. They're just really sweet. Cat. Really, really sweet. So this is your bundle. You've got the half metre of this fabric and half metre of the kitty cats on their all the different types of kitty cats, which would be this one. And you're getting the panel And that is your bundle then for £19.49. Just a really cute, fun way of being able to do anything. So this you could do loads of things with. I love, a lot of people at the moment are doing more textile art. So you could fussy cut these kitten images out. So let's say you love this one like I do. I think it's really cute. You could fussy cut that one out. And what fussy cut is, so what that means is, some people don't know, what you would do is, let's say you want to keep the dark blue border, you would cut 1/4 of an inch all the way around that. So you would go 1/4 of an inch there and cut on this line over here. And then you would have that loose as a single piece of fabric. And that's called fussy cutting. So the bit of fabric that you want to keep is what you're cutting out into the shape you want it to do, adding on your seam allowance, and then you'd fussy cut it out so you get just what you're looking for. So let's say you took that, you could then put a little border on with that. You could do maybe a 1 or 2 inch border with that. You could do another 1 or 2 inch border with that. And you've got loads of fabric here, and also you've got this wonderful panel here. So if you wanted to, you could actually then just cut 1/4 of an inch here, or you could cut it this way, you could cut this bit out and then use this as a border, and then you just pop it in a little frame. It's just something really cute and adorable to look at. Maybe you just want to have something like that. The only way, unfortunately, to get this is in the bundle, but maybe as a bag. You could be able to put these onto a little bag as a shopping bag, because if you just used half of it, that's a really good sized tote. So there's loads of different ways of doing this, or you could even, I'm not quite sure, you could probably use these as pockets for a jacket maybe. If you're doing like a denim jacket, you could perhaps have a nice big kitty cat. Or, oh, that's a little mouse, sorry. Have a little kitty cat pocket or something. There's loads of different options with it. It's just such a really versatile panel. And with these two fabrics with it, what a really great deal. Really, really lovely. But I think, I'm just hearing now, this one you can actually buy by the ½ meter as well. So it's called Strung Out from Feline Friends. So this one you could actually get, imagine that as a backing of a quilt or as a dress. That would be really cute as a nice little fun dress. And it's not very in-your-face fabric. It's not really pop. It would just be really subtle, and it would just work very, very easily. Also as a lining of a bag, that would look really cute, because I like a lighter lining, because I can never find anything. And that would work really, really well. And this is now by the ½ meter as well, so £5.99 for that. And if you bought, let's say you needed 2 meters, you would buy 4 units, and that would come together as a single 2 meter piece of fabric. But if you wanted let's say for example you wanted to buy 2 bundles, all the bundle pieces are already pre-cut, so those would be 2 ½ meters. They wouldn't be as a meter piece each, unfortunately, because they're already cut up. So it's just a really cute little piece of fabric. What an amazing little bundle that is as well. And it's just a really nice little product. So now we're going on to, I think this is called Jules Sweets, is it? Jelly Sweets, I keep getting it wrong. But what a lovely, lovely combination of colours this bundle is. Just a really nice, poppy, vibrant, different, it's not different, but I think it's just a really vibrant colourway for plains. And such a great price. Look at that. £13.96 for 2 meters. You get a ½ meter of each one. We've had this one on before, but I'm going to show you just what a ½ meter looks like in the yellow, so you get an idea of the size of the fabrics you're getting in each one of them. It's huge. It's just a really lovely, lovely size, very universal. And I just think that's such a lovely colourway that they've thought up on this. And it's called Jelly Sweets Plain. You're getting this gorgeous yellow. Doesn't it look like sunshine? Just a lovely bit of sunshine into your day. And then I think we've called the next one Raspberry. And these, unfortunately, you can only get in a bundle. I don't know if it's unfortunate, because it's just such a great combination. This is the Raspberry. I'm going to open this one up as well so you can see. I think it's good when you open them all up, you get to see the exact colour of it and how it reacts to the lights. Just look how vibrant that is. And again, if you were wanting to buy these, if you bought 2 of these, for example, again, these are all pre-cut at ½ meter. So if you bought 2, you would be getting them as ½ meter pieces. You wouldn't be getting them as a single meter. So that's where the bundles differ than when you're buying the fabric on their own. Just to be aware of. You get the same amount of fabric, it's just going to have a seam if you need it to be a meter. Then this is our fabulous purple. It's almost like a royal purple. Just seems very regal. look at that. Really lovely purple, that one. I'm pleased they've done this as a bundle. It works really well. Oh. And then, of course, my absolute favourite at the end. I don't know whether we're calling this turquoise or whatever, but just look at that. Such a beautiful blue. Really, really lovely blue, that. I'm really loving that. And if you're looking for ideas on what to do with this, in the second hour, you're going to see me demonstrate a couple of different new products, lots of lovely rulers. I'm going to show you how I've used some of these colours that work so well with these different rulers that we've got later on in the second hour. So stay tuned, you'll be able to catch up with that. And this is our lovely bundle that's called the Jules Sweets Plain. 2 meters of fabric, a ½ meter of each of those colours for £13.96. Can't go wrong at that price. So that's our Jules Sweets. I keep calling them Jules Sweets. Now these, I haven't seen this yet. This is brand new to Sewing Street today. I'm very excited because I've not seen these. I can't even remember what we've called these, but you know how I love my blues and my greens. Tropical Ocean Fabric Bundle. Oh, just look how pretty that is. Oh, so, so, so lovely. It's just the most perfect colours as well. And I wouldn't have thought of this colour, but doesn't it go so well with that? It really, really does go so well with those colours. So I'm going to open these all up so you can see them because we haven't had these on before. I want to make sure you get to see all the colours. Look at this green. And it's hard to find a really good green. And that one's just lovely. I think we've called this Emerald. But unfortunately, this is only available in the 2 meter bundle that you can see on your screen at the moment. They're not available by the ½ meter. Maybe sometime soon we'll be able to do them by the ½ meter. We'll see how they go. But gosh, aren't they lovely? You see, what I love about these bundles is somebody's done the hard work for you. They've actually taken the time and figured out what colours go together, and there's a lot of planning in the different ways the colours go together. So I think that's just takes a little bit of a load off you. And some people who don't quite like choosing colours, that's half your job done. And again, you can use these for so many different things. These are again, so this is a slightly darker blue than what's in the Jules Sweets bundle, but it's just such a lovely blue as well. It's like a marine blue, it's just gorgeous. Really lovely colours, these. Oh! Apparently I'm not getting any better at this folding. And then this one, oh, what a lovely colour. This is called Olive. And again, you can do so much with these different bundles. It's not just because predominantly I'm a quilter, so most of the things I look at are for quilters. But this for bag making, you know, if you're looking for interesting little details on a bag, that would work really, really well. For a pocket on a jacket, or just the lining of a cuff, or perhaps just a collar would work really, really well. It's just such a lovely product, these, and it's really, really lovely quality cotton. You can use it with virtually everything. So you're not going to be, you'll be spoilt for choice on how to use it. And as well, kids' dresses as well. If you've got some a detailed fabric that you wanted to use and you're just looking at like a little pop of colour to go with it, these are really good. And at that price, you can't really go wrong. This is a really beautiful blue. Almost feels like a crushed denim type of blue. It's a really lovely blue, this. Let me get it there. Just a really, and you can see again, these are really good sizes as well. I think a ½ meter is a nice size for you to get an idea of what to play with. Because fat quarters, you always end up thinking, gosh, I just need that little bit more. And now you get it. Getting double a fat quarter for that price. So these again are a bundle. They're called Tropical Ocean, brand new to Sewing Street today. And they really do work well together. You can just see how beautifully they flow. Really, really lovely. Oh, I'm so pleased they brought that. But in a way I'm not, because it's going to go straight into my basket. So, oh, we've got these back again. Oh, I was so in love with these border fabric. This is the border fabric. Which one shall I do first? The trellis or the wall? Let's do the trellis. This is just so adorable. And these are available by the half meter. So if you wanted 2 meters of this, you would then order 4 and they would come as a single piece. But just look at the detailing on that. It's so lovely. Really, really cute. What I love on this is just around the succulents, you can see those little chevrons all the way up and down. It just adds that extra dimension to the fabric. Otherwise it would just be a bit plain. And you can just see how beautifully they go together. And this, all we have left of this range are these 2 fabrics. And as you know, with this type of fabric, when it's gone, it's gone. You're never going to get it again. So if you're hovering around it, don't hang about too much. If you don't get it, you're never going to get it again, because these fabrics, they print them once and you never see them again. I have to say that this is my favourite of the range outside of the panel, but unfortunately I was too late to get the panel. Hadn't seen it before the show when it was on last time, and it sold out by the time I got off air. Look at that. Just look how pretty that one is. And again, you could fussy cut these very, very easily. I can show when we go onto the overhead, and I'm finished showing you here. Let me get you, turn this around. Can we go onto the overhead and I can just show people what I was meaning? I'm going to grab one of my little rulers in the later show. So fussy cutting, I think I spoke about briefly earlier. When you're doing that, you want to get just that little bit out. So with the fussy cutting here, you can see you've got these 4 beautiful little succulents here. So let's say you wanted to use that one, that one, that one, and that one. Now in some fabrics, you can't actually do that because the gap between them isn't big enough for you to do it. So here, you can see that, let me get this the right way around. I did have it the right way around, I was just using it the wrong way, sorry. So you can see here the gap of the wood is just under 3/4 of an inch. So you very easily can cut down the middle there, and when you're putting that into your fussy cutting, you can see you're going to end up with just a little hint of that, but you're not going to lose so much of the edge that you can't fussy cut it successfully. So say for example there was no border then, you'd be then having that being your seam allowance, and that's all you would be able to do as fussy cutting. But with these, they're so cleverly placed. The detailed border on this is so good as well. So even if you get a hint of the border in, you're still going to be able to work it well. But it's just very cleverly done that you can very easily, you can see the gap there is even a little bit bigger. You can very easily fussy cut these out and use them for different projects. And I love a versatile fabric like this because it just means that if you're thinking of doing EPP, or you're just thinking of doing squares, or you just want to play with fabric in a different way, this is so well thought out that you can very, very easily do that on this. And unfortunately, you're not going to get this again if it goes. I'm going to show you again, just in case you didn't see it the first time. You can just see how cute it is. It's just so thoughtfully done. And the detailing on that succulent in the middle there above Sustained Joy, you can see it's got that beautiful purple little dot on the corners of it. And that's what these succulents look like in real life. The detailing on it is what's so, so crucial to make a pattern work really, really well. And they have, I can't remember who did this. It was Figo, was it? No, P&B Rustic Rosettes by Sandy Linham Clough? C-L-O-U-H. If I've said your name wrong, I do apologise. I'm terrible with pronouncing surnames. But there we go. Lovely, lovely product there. This, again, is only available by the half metre now. And yes, once it's gone, it's gone. $5.99 for a half metre, so don't hang around. So next, I am really excited about this because somebody a couple of weeks ago on the fans page said, can we do a jelly roll race? So I went to Hayley and said, I want to do a jelly roll race. Come, let's do it. So we've got this amazing kit for you. So I don't know whether to show you the finished sample or show you the kit first. Do the kit first, I agree. So what we're going to do is we're doing a sew along on the 18th of April at 9:30, and we're hoping to do it for about an hour and a half, just under an hour and a half. And what that is going to entail is that we all work together on the same product. We'll need to do some prepping beforehand, and I'll tell you the stage that I'll be at when we are going to be starting the sew along at 9:30, because unfortunately it does take a little bit of time to get everything prepped. But we can't do that all on air because you'll be bored with me just cutting strips out. But these are the products that we're going to use for them. So we've had this on once or twice before, but I just absolutely loved this. So the bundle you're going to get for the three, you're going to get three sets of these geometric shapes. You're going to get the sunset, the azure, and the berry. These have got 16 strips which are 55 inches lengthways and 2.5 inches this way, and you're going to get, I think there's 16 in each one, and all three of these as a kit for the sew along are £49.97, which is saving you £10 on the usual standard price. So I'm going to show you each of these individually so you can see that's the bundle of the three of them together, and let me show you the berry one. And I'm going to first show you sideways because you get to see the wonderful gradation of the colours. Look at that. So you can see from here going from a really dark maroon to a beautiful bright pink there. That's how the fabrics gradiate all the way through. And just as an idea of size, each of those strips is 2.5 inches, but look how big it is. That is a 55 inch from this side to this side. 55 inches, it's a really good size design roll. And this is now going to be called our design roll race bundle. And that's on the 18th of November at 9:30. Oh gosh, 18th of April, look at me wishing the year away. Won't take us that long. So we're hoping that if you place your order today, we're hoping you'll have the product by the 14th of April, which will give you a good amount of time to get everything prepped. And these were doing so well when I launched it last week. Really, really excited, and everybody was very, very excited about it. We had to go and find more of the product, which was great. We were able to do it. So we're only doing these as a bundle, I hear now. We're not selling them individually anymore because we're running out of stock. So the great thing about the sew along is where we are at the moment, everybody's feeling very alone, and we are alone, and we're not able to see people, and we're not able to do things, and it's all just a bit miserable. So we're wanting to be able to give something or do something together as a community, and we're going to do it as a sew along, and then you can post on our fans page while we're sewing, and you can ask questions, you can post pictures of how you've decided to do yours, and it's just going to be a really fun way of being able to unite as a community. And I really hope you can get involved on it. I don't want you to miss out, because it's going to be such a lovely community building race that we're going to do, and just the different ways people are going to interpret the project I think are going to be very exciting. So this is the azure one. I think that was called azure. So you can see from here it goes from the really dark blue to the really teal blue, light blue, and it's just a beautiful gradation. But the great thing is can we switch to the overhead? I can just show the beautiful geometric designs on here. Each one of these products, each one of the panels have these gorgeous geometric designs all the way along them. So you can see here you've got that beautiful circle then, which is a bit like an orange peel, making that gorgeous I'm not quite sure what you'd call that shape in the middle. It's not exactly a diamond because it's got curves in. But then you've got this lovely star, and this is what I was meaning here. You've got the 4 orange peels in a circle making that funny little triangle-y bit in the middle. And you've got this gorgeous one here as well. It's just so detailed, which you don't get when you're looking at it that way. When you're looking at it full on, you're looking at that gorgeous adjustment of colour. But when you look at it this closely, you've got it there. But the berry one has it as well. So you can see we've got all the same geometric designs with the shadings going all the way down from the lightest to the darkest. So I think that's just a nice detail where they very cleverly have thought how to make the fabric really, really interesting. And here again you can see it's also huge, 55 inches wide, because our design rolls are a little bit bigger than the other products available on the market. And again, each strip is 2.5 inches. And if you are interested in taking part, I'm going to be filming a little instruction video this afternoon. So that'll be available on social media. And are we putting it on air as well? We're not sure, but definitely check out our social media. It'll definitely be on there. Then you'll be able to see exactly what you need to prep in order to take part. And you don't need to prep anything. If you haven't prepped anything and you just want to take part and watch, that's absolutely fine. It's just nice to all be at the same stages, because it's that sense of being able to take part together and make something together, but slightly different, doing your own little twist on it. So what the design roll race is, a company in, I can't remember, I first saw it with Jenny Doan. Jenny Doan's a quilting maverick in the US, and she'd gone to another store and seen this design done on a jelly roll race. Now jelly rolls are a moda-specific product, so we're not going to be using jelly rolls, we're using design rolls because these are slightly bigger as well, and slightly cheaper. And the sorry, I'm getting lost in thought there. So what you do is when you make them, they wanted to do something really quick and easy as a beginner that you can do. And what you do is you sew the short end there to the short end there to the short end there, all into, so you'll take all of these 48 strips and sew them into one single long 2.5 inch high line all the way along. And I think that works out to about 1,700 inches all the way along, which is huge. And then what you do is you'll take the individual strips once they're all cut out, and let's just assume that this is one piece, and you would take them right sides together and sew them all together in one strip. And then once that's done, you cut the end off, and then you take the raw edges, right sides together, sew it down again. So you're taking the length of it and halving it, and then the length of it and halving it, and length of it and halving it. So I can now show you, because I did one yesterday, I'm really excited about this. And remember, each one will come out slightly differently, and I've got a couple of different techniques that people can do if they want to do something even more different to what I've done. And it's also a nice, easy way. There's a little bit of extra sewing, but you won't mind, because we love sewing. And the good thing with this is it's a really meditative process. There's a lot of prep to do. It took a couple of hours, but this is huge. It's 68 inches by 78, I think. But I love a big quilt. Look at that. But this is now how mine has panned out. But all it is that was how I chose to do it. And it's not necessarily going to come out that way for you. It just depends on how we place the fabric. I did these in one way, and I'll show you exactly how I did it. But you can see that the strips just show so beautifully, and the geometric shapes just show so beautifully. Oh, I've taken over the whole stage. It's brilliant. And what I love is you've got the yellows popping in here, and you've got the blues popping in, and you've got the oranges, and it just flows so beautifully. So the way I did it is I sewed the yellows to the blues and then the blue to the pink. And I started with the light yellow on one at the top and the dark yellow at the bottom, the light pink at the top and the light pink at the bottom. But then on the blues, I started with the dark blue on the top and the light blue on the bottom. So I had a little bit of variation there. So you can see I've got a really light yellow here with a dark blue. And then when that joined on to my pink, somewhere else, it was onto a light pink. And you can just see it's absolutely huge. So for $49.97, you're going to get a massive quilt, and we're all going to do it together. And the other thing is it doesn't have to go that way. You can do it this way. Because it's, oh, I've just knocked something off the stage. I've just knocked something off the table as well. So hopefully that's not important for today's show. So you can see that one, that end ended up with a little bit more blue. And I'll just show this up. So you can show it, you can have it either way on your bed. So you can see you can have this wonderful pink in the middle with the yellows coming through. And again, in the instructions that I'm going to video this afternoon, you'll be able to see different ways of doing this to make yours slightly different. And if you think of something different, please message me. Let me have a look. Let me have a think about it, because I haven't done the one that I'm going to do for the actual demo of the actual race yet. So I might borrow your idea. You might have something better than my ideas, which is great. That's what I love about this, is that you're not limited on it. You can do it how you like. If you don't like that design, you can do it something different. Each one will come out slightly differently, because you may be able to say, oh, I'm going to sew on that end rather than that side, and you end up with a totally different quilt. But you can just see with these different products and these design rolls, they're just so beautifully well thought out and just a lovely product. And being able to take part in something so unique, I don't think we've ever done something like this before, which is great. We love something new. And it's also a way to keep involved and keep connected, and you'll be able to make new friends and meet new people, and we can all doing a common goal, which I think is going to be a really fun way of spending a couple of hours in your morning. So that's as a bundle. Please forgive my horrible folding. but you can see I've got the sunset one here, I've got the azure here, and the berry, and it just works so, so, so beautifully together. You're going to get a massive quilt, 68 by 78. Obviously, if your seam allowance is slightly different to mine, you may have a slightly larger, that may be a different size, but we're looking roughly around about that. But it's a really good size quilt on that. So here we go, and now I'm just going to go back because I can't stop looking at these gorgeous colours. This is the Brights Fat Quarter bundle that we're bringing with you today. Just a really beautiful colourway here. Just such a lovely colourway. And these are the size of your fat quarters that you're going to get. They're really big and just such a lovely, lovely weight to them. Nice and light, it's beautiful. I can't stop looking at how beautiful these colours are because they just go so well. I love a good colourway. Oh, I'm getting in there. Oh, that worked really well. Just follow the lines. So that is your Brights pack of 8 fat quarters. £12.99 for 8. I think that worked out to, what was it, £1.60? £1.62 a fat quarter. Cannot go wrong with that, can you? And then we've also got the pastel range as well. So if you are looking at that, we've got the pastel range too. This one we used in our EPP project a couple of days ago. So if you are interested in looking back at that, you'll be able to see how I use these so beautifully with the flower pots I did. But the Brights might work very well for that as well. So this is the Pastel Pack. That's the Bright Pack. Pop onto the website and you can have a see, and there's loads of different ways you can use that. And just even if you're practicing and you're wanting to use some lovely coloured fabric, you can then do this at £1.61 a fat quarter. You will not regret it. Is that the little stars? So we've got stars today. Oh, look at these. So these are a poplin weight that we've got today. So that just, I'm not quite sure exactly what poplin weight means, but I love using poplin. Don't know what it means, so I'm sorry. If somebody knows what poplin means, drop us a line on Facebook and let us know. This is a 2.5 metre bundle, so you're getting a ½ metre of that lovely green pistachio, this cute little pink, really lovely navy blue, this lovely red, and this cute little purple here. And we're going to be selling these by the ½ metre as well. But this is the ½ metre, we're doing the ½ metre bundle here of the 5 of them for £18.99. Cannot go wrong at that price. Really lovely product that. I'm going to show you these individually as well so you'll be able to see it. So this is the lavender. This is now how much we're paying for a ½ metre on its own, not in the bundle. That's £3.99 for a ½ metre. What a really great price. And these are so lovely, and the product is, it just feels so lovely as well. This is for dressmaking. You can easily use this for bags. Quilting as well, because also with quilting sometimes you're looking for something slightly different than a spot or a plain. These little stars are so beautiful and so detailed. That would work really, really well for anything on that. And this red, doesn't that just make you think of fireworks? Because when you looked at it far away, you don't actually get to tell what it is, but you can see it's just a lovely little star there where it looks like an irregular dot from from a further distance, but you can see with the stars it works really, really cute. But these go really well, and I'm glad they put them as a bundle because look how well that goes with the navy. Just goes so beautifully with that. That just goes so well. The contrast is so good. So you can see what I mean when I hold this up. It does look a little bit like an irregular dot. But when you zoom into it, it's a little star with an irregular dot. But at £3.99 for this is a ½ metre. It's a really beautiful star and a really cute fabric. I'd love to know who does all our bundles. They're really cleverly done. The colourways work so well. This is going to be Hayley Marshall say, isn't it? She's very clever. Knows what she's doing. And this one, we've got sort of a salmony pink on it. And again, just a really cute little star with a bit of a dot. And then I feel like we've been going for ages. There's so many in this bundle. So now we've got our pistachio. Is that what we've called this last one? Pistachio. And again, these are all at the ½ meter now. Such a cute, fun little green, this. See what I mean? It's very vibrant. It's almost like an ice cream. It's almost like a little mint ice cream, a little bit like a Viennetta or something. I love that. So that for a ½ meter is $3.99. And then of course you've got our lovely bundle as well, where you can get all 5 of these together, and that was for $18.49. And that's going to be your bundle. Obviously yours will be a lot better folded than mine was. And that's our lovely bundle there. You can just see how well that goes together with our lovely minty green, pistachio green, salmon pink, the lovely navy, this gorgeous red, and that really cute purple at the bottom. Really works well. Love a bit of stars in our eyes, which is lovely. Sorry, I've got a bit of something, wire creepage. 2 seconds, sorry. There we go. Oh, I'm not very good at this, sorry. So here we've got our yellow stars, our red stars, and our lovely pink stars as well. Really, really cute. So this is a there are 3 ½ meters in this bundle, which are coming in at $10.99. Look at these stars, and these are now ½ meter pieces again. So we'll do these as the bundle, as well as by the ½ meter. Look at that. Just such a big poppy star. It's great. You see, this, I would love to see this as a dress. Imagine that with just such a statement dress, and you could do different pieces, or even as a statement collar or cuffs on this. I think it would be really cute. But again, bags would work very, very well. But also as a lining, the backing of a quilt, that would look spectacular. Doing this as a nice backing on a quilt, I think that would work really, really well. So we're doing this by the ½ meter as well. The graphic with that will come in later. So I'll come back to that. But this is now as a bundle. So if you're buying a bundle, and say you bought 2 bundles, these are already cut at ½ meter pieces. So you will only get these as, if you bought 2, for example, you would get these as 2 ½ meters because the bundle's already cut. But if you did buy them by the ½ meter and you bought 2, that would come to you as a meter. But the ones that you're looking at the moment are a bundle, and they would then come to you as individual pieces of ½ meter. And this is a really fun red as well. Because sometimes you get a red and it's quite orangey red. This one's a really lovely apple red, almost like a postbox red as well. You know what I mean by that, sort of a nice candy apple red. You just want to, I want to say sink your teeth into it, but you can't do that with fabric. Really cute fabric, that. But I do think as a backing, that would look spectacular. Oh, bunting! What a good idea! And you've got this gorgeous yellow as well, which would just pop everything. And these are available in the bundle, these 3 ½ meter pieces, and that's for $10.99. So this yellow, can you imagine that as a bunting? That would look really pretty. So that's our lovely bundle. I'm going to just fold this back up. That's our lovely bundle that you're going to get, those 3 ½ meters. Much better folded than what I'm doing at the minute. And this is now £10.49 for the ½ meter bundle, the 3 ½ meters there. Just such a lovely, vibrant colours. So what we love is a bit of popping. So then these are available by the ½ meter as well. So let's say you're looking for the yellow. That at the ½ meter is $3.99. Can't go wrong at that price. It's amazing. So if you wanted to say get 2 meters of this, you would order 4 units, and these would come to you as individual pieces then of 2 meters if you've ordered 4 units. They wouldn't come to you as half meters, 4 half meters. They just keep running it off the bolt for you. And that's $3.99. Don't forget we've got our 1-day P&P, $3.95 for the whole day. So if you bought something in earlier on in the show and then you think, oh, actually I do want some stars, you're not going to pay twice for the postage, only pay it once a day. And that's anything you buy, whether you're buying mats or rulers, because we've got some lovely rulers coming up in our second hour, as well as a sewing machine. You know, we've got an amazing collection of sewing machines. I'm going to be showing you the gorgeous Juki at 11 o'clock. Oh, gosh, I don't know how I managed to get that back from here in my studio, Look at that gorgeous red. It's so lovely. Again, $3.99 for a half meter. It's a really cute colour. I'm not sure which one of these is my favourite. I think I'm going to have to go with the pink because I love pink. A little bit of cerise in your day, perk it all up. This is lovely. I want to say it matches my eyes. Look how cute they are. And you're not limited by the ideas of these, because honestly, dresses would be cute. Can you imagine a little girl's dress in that? It would be really cute. My godchild adores pink, and he's a little boy, and he loves pink. And I'd make him a little waistcoat out of that. He'd love that. So there we go. Those are available either as a bundle at $10.49. Otherwise, these are available in half-meter pieces at $3.99 each. Oh, $10.99, sorry, as the bundle, my apologies. $10.99 for the bundle, otherwise $3.99 for the half meter. Really lovely colours. So now we've got the same ones, but in a much more toned down version of the pastels. So these are available in a bundle as well, half meters each. I think these will also be $10.99. So we got that in the silver, the blue and the pink. The silver, the blue and the pink. And that is our lovely bundle there for $10.99. So I'll show you again what you're getting. This beautiful pink, this. Really like that. Lovely pastel. A bit calmer than my favourite cerise. But also it works really, really well. Just thinking for a baby's room. Can you imagine that for some lovely bunting? Or a little baby quilt, or it would just be, oh, the backing of a quilt as well. It's just such a lovely colour. And I know people do traditionally go pink and blue for boy and girl. Like that or not, it's entirely up to you. I use both. I think if you put a pink and blue on it, you're future-proofing them one way or the other. And this lovely blue as well. You know how I love a good blue. Just a really lovely colour, that. Really cute colour, that. And so these are half metre of each in this bundle, and that's for $10.99. And I promise it'll be better folded for you than when it comes from the warehouse. And this is our silver in this range. So there we've got these by the half metre. Sorry, half metre bundle. It's very early. So here we've got our 3 half metre pieces there for $10.99. And it's a much more subtle colours than the previous bright, bold and wonderful ones we had. Really lovely, those. So we are also able to do these by the half metre as well. So I'll show you these again just so you can see the sizes and everything for the half metre. Hopefully get them the right way round for you as well. So this silver one is by the half metre for $3.99. And if you bought 1 metre, it would be 2 of them joined together as one piece. There's so much you could do with these. Can you imagine these as a little pair of trousers? I wonder if you could make pyjamas out of these. Those could be quite cute. I think with any clothing you make for kids, I would always just run it through the washing machine first, just in case. Well, they're going to spend so much time in the washing machine anyway, you might as well get it out there before you start. And then this is the lovely blue colour for it. You can see how those stars just really pop on that, don't they? Really cleverly done. I think these fabric designers are really clever. I'm not sure how they do it all. And then we've got our last little ½ metre in this bundle. And this is now by the ½ metre again, $3.99 for a ½ metre. And this is the Poplin Pink Stars fabric, ½ metre by Rose & Hubble. $3.99, just a really cute colour. I really do like the idea of bunting on these though, that would be really good. But I am so excited that we've managed to get these back in stock because they were so popular the first time round. Look at it. A little sewing machine pincushion. But the detailing on this is incredible. Look at that little bobbin. Look at the little wheel, which is actually just a button. And then you've got this little pearl on the top here. And if you look at the bottom, you've also got this little pin at the bottom, which acts as your needle. And it's just so cleverly done, the detailing with this gorgeous little tape measure all the way around the base. You've got the scissors there, you've got your chalk. It's just the detailing on it is so, so clever. And for $12.99, that is just such a gorgeous pin cushion. I'm just looking for some pins, and I've got them here. And you can pin, I think you can pin everywhere. Yes, you can. I'm going to pop that in the front so you can see it. And you literally can just pop the pins in anywhere. They're really, really clever. Because a number of times you look for your pin cushion, you just can't find anywhere to put it. And it's a really big size as well. So I think you would really you won't be disappointed with that. And it's just so fun, a really cute product, which did really, really well the last time we had it on. And I'm so glad we were able to get it back. And this is actually in black, where I think the previous one we actually had was navy. And this is such a beautiful black. It works so, so well. Gosh, I've just noticed there, you've got the trimmer for foundation paper piecing. You've got the eyelet to thread your needles. You've got this very pin you've got on the fabric just there, which is very clever. Actually, I'm going to put that in it so you can see. It's just very, very clever on that. Really cute little piece there. So I'm pleased we've managed to get that back in stock. So again, I'm going to go back to these lovely basic brights flat quarters. Oh, I just love looking at them. Just such a cute colourway. Really, really cute little colourway. I'm going to move my little sewing machine out of the way. Look how cute they are. I just can't get over how beautiful these are. So there we go, that's still available, $12.99 if you're interested in that. And I think we should go back to this beautiful fabric we've got here, the extra wide backing. And I think I have some pins here. And don't tell them, but I'm going to pin in the wall to show you just how big these are. Right, let's make sure I get this the right way around. So we've got the wall over here. Hopefully you'll be able to see it. Will that go? Should I put it in? Yeah, I think I'll put it in there. Oh, that's a little bit harder than I thought it would be. Hopefully that will hold. What could possibly go wrong? So you can see just how huge this piece of fabric is. Look how huge that is. This is 108 inches. And it's just such a fun, vibrant green, really cute fabric with the lovely squiggles on all the way along. And it would work for virtually anything. Just got my little head popping out the top there. Really cute fabric, and it's a really wide fabric as well. 108 inches for $8.99, and I haven't damaged the set too badly by doing that. And I'll bring that back in here as well so you can see it. Got that lovely little squiggle on it. Just got Joe readjusting the camera, so bear with, he'll get to us now and adjusting those. Just so fun. And you can see on the overhead here just how fun these vibrant squiggles are. So any form of free motion that you want to be doing, you can easily get to that. You can see what I mean by just following the lines if you use a different colour thread to be able to just practice your free motion. Some people prefer to have lines on fabric to be able to do that. Otherwise, as a backing, this is just perfect. Such a nice colour as well, because whenever you do a backing, a lot of people don't really care too much about the backing, but having something quite bold and poppy, I think it works really well, because when you've got the quilt and you're using it, you get this lovely pop of colour. I think it would work really, really well. But that's a really great price on that, $8.99 for that quilt. Back fabric, 108 inches, and you saw how huge it was. The other two colourways that we had, they were so popular, they sold out very, very quickly. And you're getting so much for your money there. It keeps wanting to run away from me. Oh, that didn't work very well. I just think I just hit my mic there. Apology for the squiggles, everybody. You know I'm still learning this. So that is just a really nice product, that one as well. We've got loads here today, and we've got the Jules Sweets bundle, which I love. And again, I'm going to be showing you a way I've used these together in our second hour. Here for 3 hours today. So that's just a lovely colourway that they've picked out for us there. You've got this gorgeous tealy blue. You've got this lovely purple. You've got this gorgeous raspberry pink as well. And this is some, what we call that, sunshine yellow? Not quite sure what we call it, but I'm going to call it sunshine yellow. It's really fun. And that's $13.96, so you get a ½ metre of each of those, $13.96 for that bundle. Unfortunately, we're not doing these by the ½ metre at the moment. Hopefully in time we will. We've got these all as a bundle then for $13.96. Can't go wrong with that. I will do the ocean bundle as well, just in case you haven't seen this one yet. This is brand new today. This really lovely colourway there. 2 different purples, 2 different greens, 2 different purples. Look at me. 2 different blues. It's very early in the morning, I'm sorry. So the beautiful blue there and a lovely blue there, not purple, blue. And this olive green and this beautiful green, emerald greeny here. Really lovely product. Again, ½ metre of each, or 2 metres there are $13.96. Just see how beautifully they tone together. That Hayley is very clever with all those. Really good. Shall I recap the early bird? So of course you're going to be watching our first hour this morning, so you'll be the first to see the early bird available. This is the rose gold Millwood scissor gift set. Really lovely product this. You've got the dress shears here. You've got the little embroidery scissors here. These lovely little pins with a rose gold top and a lovely rose gold thimble as well. Normally the scissors alone would be $14.99, but here you're getting the whole product for the same price. And you can see just how fun those scissors are, and they're really good weight. These are 21.5 centimetre scissors, and then the little scissors are 9.5 centimetres. Oh, really cute little pair there. And these are really good for anything, and when we're allowed to travel again, these are normally okay for taking on the airline. Just double check with them before you do, because you've normally got the length of them is enough for you to take on the planes. So a really lovely early bird special there for $14.99. And they were so popular the last time. I'm so pleased they brought them back again. You're saving £5 to what we normally had them on for, and just a really lovely product. And if you're looking for Easter presents, we're always looking for things to give people that we're actually going to use, and these aren't going to linger in someone's cupboard. They're definitely going to pop them out and make sure that they use them as often as they can. What a really, really lovely show. I'm so pleased. Please make sure you check out, because if you haven't checked out, the product's not yours. We've got a lovely second hour with Creative Grids. And the third hour, we've got the Juki. I'm so excited. If anybody saw my little Instagram story feed yesterday with me unpacking the Juki into my sewing studio, you'll be able to be sure, don't worry, it's back in the studio today. With great reluctance, I put it back in the box and brought it back today to show you all. But what a lovely product. We're off now for a little break while we change the set. We'll have some graphics up while we do that. We'll do it as quickly as we can. And thank you so much for your time for this hour. We'll see you in a few seconds. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome. We love hearing from you, and we really hope that you can follow us on our social media platforms. We've got Instagram, which is @Sewing Street. We have Facebook. We've got two Facebook pages. One is the Sewing Street TV page, and the other one is Sewing Street Fans. All three of these are monitored all the time by our wonderful team, and if you want to message us on air, drop us a line on either of those three and we'll definitely be able to answer your questions that you may have. If you post on the actual wall, we can perhaps answer there. Otherwise, message us as well. That works really, really well. Thank you so much for being involved, and it's only because of this community that we're able to bring you all these different diverse products and to be able to answer your questions that you may have. Another way you can stay in touch with us is by signing up to our newsletter. These newsletters are sent out to you very regularly, and they include not only our guest profiles of upcoming guests, but also amazing shows that we've got coming up for you. And if you want to look at the amazing products before everybody else, that's the best way to do it. If you'd like to sign up and you haven't already, the link to follow is www.sewingstreet.com/sign up. You won't regret it. Thank you.
Hello there, I'm Debbie Shaw, and I would love you to join me on the first Monday of every single month for Sewing Street Surgery. Now, this is a dedicated hour where I answer your questions, and that could be questions about techniques, it could be questions about tools, it could be questions about new products, or maybe something that you've seen that you just don't understand. There's a lot of questions about tensions on sewing machines, and there's a lot of questions about working with different weights of fabrics. So if you have a question that you'd like to ask me, the easiest way to bring a question over to us is to go to our Facebook page and post your question on there. I will collate all of those questions throughout the week. If we need any new products for you, or if we need any new demonstrations, those will all be worked on leading up to that first Monday of the month. So do join me, Debbie Shaw, on Sewing Street Surgery on the first Monday.
Good morning and welcome to our 9 o'clock show here on Sewing Street on this wonderful Sunday morning. So glad you could be with me. Lots to show you in this hour. Creative Grids is our world today. I'm just going to recap a couple of things with you. If you haven't bought with us before, the website is www.sewingstreet.com, failing which you can contact our UK-based call centre on 0800 001 4433. We've got loads of social media places to be able to contact us. We've got our Facebook page of Sewing Street TV. That's the semi-official one. And we're constantly monitoring that one, as well as our Sewing Street fans page. So do drop us a line on there. If you want to ask anything in while we're in the studio, you're most welcome. Failing that, we've got Instagram, which is @SewingStreet. And then all of the shows that we do are available on YouTube. So if you go into YouTube and look for Sewing Street, you'll be able to find us there. And make sure you click subscribe, because you'll be able to then always be notified whenever there's a show up that's just uploaded that you may have missed. You'll be able to see it then very, very easily and get a notification about it. Just going to recap our amazing early bird special today. We've got our Millwood Rose Gold Scissor gift set. You can just see there how beautiful it is. In case you may have missed our early bird at 8 o'clock, because we're now on for 3 hours every day from yesterday, we have these as our early bird sale on. It was so popular the last time. Wanted to make sure we got them back in for you. We've got these beautiful dressmaking shears, 21.5 centimetre dress shears, and we've got these lovely 9.5 centimetre embroidery scissors, which are really cute, and I think anybody who's done any form of hand sewing, etc., very easily be able to see how cleverly done they are and how beautiful. And when we're allowed to travel again, these, as far as I'm aware, will be able to take on any aeroplane. Double check with your provider that you're able to. And then we've got this lovely packet of pins with our lovely rose gold heads, and I love a metal thimble. This beautiful rose gold one fits beautifully on my finger as well. So a really lovely product, $14.99. You're saving £5 to what it used to be. We just want to make sure we get you a nice little bargain, a little bit of a deal. So do, if you are interested in that, check out on that. And we've got our one-day P&P of $3.99, $3.95. Sorry, I'm putting the price up for you there. So do check out. You can check out as many times during the day. Only got the one-day P&P. And now we're going to glide straight into Creative Grids. So my first Creative Grids rule I'm going to do for you is our Stripology one. Now, anybody who's ever used this will swear by it. It is a really amazing, amazing product. I use it a lot now for my Bargello quilts, which I'm loving doing. Just makes your life a little bit easier. And I'm going to be able to show you now how this all works. We've got this lovely ditzy star fabric, which we had on in the last hour. Can you believe we're on for 3 hours a day now? It's wonderful. So you just give this a nice little fold out, and what I'm doing is I'm folding it twice just to make sure it fits beautifully into my Stripology ruler. And Stripology and Creative Grids, they are the same company, but I want to just show you, before I start doing the demo, why I love these rulers so much. And I'm going to go, hopefully there I'm going to get some reflection. Now what I'm looking for is the reflection. Wait, let me get it, there you go. So you can see over here, with the reflection, you can see there's this sort of raised rough area. That raised rough area is essential, because what it does is, let's see, this is now the flat side, and I show you there with the glare. That's got no grip on it at all. So you can see your ruler moves, and I'm not pressing very hard, your ruler moves up and down. So if I fold this, and you can see now I've got the rough side over here, if I turn that round and I apply the same amount of pressure, your ruler's not moving anywhere near as much as it was when it was just on the slippy side. So that's the great technique that Creative Grids and Stripology offer you, that you've got that wonderful safety mechanism, for the want of a better word, to be able to make your ruler not move while you're using it. So over here, I'm going to now pop onto the overhead now, and you'll be able to see. So what I've done is that you saw me just fold the fabric into 4. You can do it how you like. Now the great thing with this product is you can see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you're left-handed, I'm not left-handed, all you do is you rotate it round. 1, 2, 3. You can use it as left or right-handed. It's a universal ruler that you can use for both. I'm not left-handed, so I'm going to pop this back here, and I'm going to line my fabric up with the white line at the top over there, at the bottom. It doesn't quite line up, but I'm okay with that. You can then go and spend, if you want to take the time and refold it. I'm on live telly and you've got more exciting things to watch than me pressing fabric. So I'm just lining it up at the top. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut on my 0 line. So when you're cutting, you may not be able to see this. I'm going to put my finger underneath it so you can see. There is a little, let me show you here on the number 7 because I think that's a little bit easier to see. You've got like an egg shape in there. There you go. It's like a little teardrop shape. And what you do then is that holds your rotary cutting blade. So that way then you can easily, sorry, I've squished my fabric around a bit there. So now what happens is you're able to put, sorry, moved it all around. You can pop your rotary cutter into that little teardrop just there. So I've got it at an angle so you can see the teardrop and you just slot it in there. And that way then your rotary cutter is already neatly in place in the groove of 0 as you go up. And then you come out. So I'm going to do this, I'm going to do these as, shall we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and see how far we go? So I'm going to cut 1 inch. And then I'm going to cut a 2 inch, so 1 plus 2 is 3. And then I'm going to cut a 3 inch, so 3 plus 3 is 6. And then I'm going to cut a 4 inch, so 6 plus 4 is 10. And then I'm going to cut a 5 inch, because 5 plus 10 is 15, so I'm going to go to the 15 line. And just to be annoying, I'm going to cut 2.5 and 2.5, so that'll be 17.5 and 20. Now, I don't know about you. Now, hopefully I pressed right all the way through. So the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of my starting point, and I'm going to get rid of my end point. So I knew I cut a 1 inch, I cut a 2 inch, I cut a 3 inch, I cut a 4 inch, I cut a 5 inch, I cut a 2.5, and I cut a 2.5. Now you cannot tell me that you are able to do that easily with other fabric, or with other rulers, as quickly, as safely, and as easily as that. So let's say you want to do binding. Right, we all know binding is 2.5 inches. So I'm doing exactly what I did before, just folding my fabric, getting it as straight as I can do, and I think that end's a little bit straighter. Folding it down there, getting my ruler again. And we know binding is 2.5 inches. Gotta love a bit of binding. So line that up there. So it takes a little bit of time there lining everything up, so I'm going to start off by getting my 0. So once you've lined it up, and that's all the time it takes, so the next one's 2.5. So we're going to do 2.5, and then I've got 5. Start with 5. Then you've got 7.5, and then you've got 10, and you've got 12.5. And the next one's 15. And then the next one's 17.5. Because all I'm doing is adding 2.5 to each one. And then I'm coming to 20. And I lift my ruler up. Fingers crossed. Right, so that one and that one are your end ones. So now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces of binding. 8 pieces of binding is fair, but that would cover an 80-inch quilt very easily. Done. Could you have done that quickly with your ruler? I don't think so. But these are really, I love the Stripology ruler. It is so good. And there is so much you can do with it. And of course, you know, I do a lot of Bargello quilts, so I know that my things are 3 inches, so I pop them down. 3, 6, 9, 12, 18, 15, 18, done. Sorted. Pop the next fabric in. 3, 6, 9, 12, 8, 15, 18, done. It is so much easier. And it's safer because the ruler's not going to move. The Stripology grip, the grip on it is just not going to move. And yes, you can slide it like that, but if I've got it the other way around, if I'm sliding it like that, you've got some real movement on it. But if you put the pressure down and you do that, it doesn't move. And that's what I love about it. It's the safety of it. I want to make sure that everybody is safe and they're doing the best that they can to stay safe. So an amazing Stripology ruler, and you will have it for years. Everybody I know who's got these have got them for years and years and years, and you always go back to them, and then you forget you've got them, and then you're like, oh, I've got one of them, bring it out and use it again. So you will use these all the time. Well, I know I do. So yes, definitely an amazing ruler, and you could just see how quick and easy it was to do that. So the next one we've got is our squared ruler. So this one is a little bit different. So you've got the same stripology mechanism on this. I'm just going to use a little piece of scrap fabric that I've got here, forgive me. So you can do exactly the same thing to cut your, same as the stripology ruler. I'm just going to cut 2 lines out of this. Line this up. Line that up there. And you're going to do exactly the same as a stripology ruler. It's just got a slightly thicker throat. So that's the first one. I know I want a 3-inch line for my pieces. Cut 3 inches, then I'm going to cut 6, and then I'm going to cut 9. Can you tell I'm cutting out a Bargello piece? And then I'm not going to cut any more because I just need those 3 pieces. And you can tell the bit that I don't need, it's gone. 1, 2, 3. So this is a stripology ruler as well, but the reason it's the squared one, which is the reason I love it, is, let's do this one. As we look at it on the top, you're going to see you've got 4.5, 5.5, 6.5, 7.5, 8.5, 9.5, 10.5, 11.5, 12.5. That is for your squares, to be able to work out squaring up your fabrics. So this is what I'm going to do with this one, because my block that I'm doing at the moment doesn't have a midpoint. So all I'm doing is I'm just folding this in half, and then I'm folding it in half again. Now I know I have to square this block, so it's not going to be exactly in half, but I can just create, you can see I've now created a little midpoint there. So that midpoint in my block, I'm going to line up with my little white cross in the middle. So first thing I'm going to do is double check I'm doing this right. There we go. So that's my midpoint. Ooh, that's very close. So I know that I need this to be 6 inches, and you can see on my 6.5, I'm a little bit shy there, So all I'm going to do now is, because you want to move it over, all you do next is you move this ever so slightly over to the black lines, where everything lines up on the black lines. So by doing that, you can see I've got a little bit of excess on this black line and a little bit of excess on that black line. So all I do now is I pop my rotary cutter into the little teardrop at the bottom there on number 9, and I go like that. Don't move anything. Then I take my rotary cutter and I pop it into number 3, and I pop it down. So now you've cut off that size, so you've squared that this way to 6 inches. Don't move anything. Now, what you're doing next is, if you were cutting 6.5, you follow the white lines, but you're now cutting 6 inches, so you line that up with the black line, and you can see, when you do this, you can see that black line there on the 3 line lines up perfectly there, and this line here on the 3 line lines up perfectly there. So you've got the, so you can tell that that's 6 inches there, and then you just position that in the middle. You take your rotary cutter, and again you go to 9, cut that across there, you go to 3, you cut that across there, and you've got a perfect 6-inch block, which is fantastic. Now this you can do for a 12.5-inch block as well. So it goes really, really big. So if you were buying a ruler, you might want to buy this one instead of the smaller one, because you can cut bigger squares. You can see these 12.5-inch squares. That's the standard size we usually use for quilting blocks. So perhaps you get the bigger one because you want to do that. If you don't make 12.5-inch squares, this would work really, really well as well, because you can go down to 4.5-inch squares. And if you want to cut smaller, you can. You just then go down bit by bit by bit. As you can, you'll work the ruler out as you go, just as I showed you there, that was a little bit smaller than 6.5. But if I line that up on the black line, it's exactly 6. So that's a really lovely, lovely ruler to make sure that you're squaring everything up nicely. And we also have a mini one. We have a mini one which does exactly the same thing. You've got the same, oh sorry, I didn't show you this on the previous ruler. You've got that same sticky technology that doesn't work because you've got these wonderful ridges on here that just make slipping a little bit more difficult. And then we have, where's my little piece? I'm going to do this one. So again, this one we're going to line up to 6 inches. So you can tell, it's not just under 6.5. You can see it's a little bit under here. So I'm going to just move this down a little bit, or up a little bit, depending which way it goes. There we go. So you can see I've lined the 6.5 line up there on the black and the white line, and I've lined it up on this side. So I know now that's going to be 6 inches if I cut it. Is that right? Yes. So I'm putting my rotary cutter in here for 6 inches, and then I'm cutting it into here at 0. Don't move your fabric. You pick your ruler up, take it out. You've squared that to 6 inches. Don't move your fabric. You rotate this down, and you can tell, where are we? Sorry, I'm just positioning this correctly because I didn't fold it in the beginning. That's why it's having a bit of a moment. So you can see, as I've positioned the ruler now, this bit is the excess there, and that bit's the excess there. So you're going to cut on the 0 line, and you're going to cut on the 6 line. There's the 0. There's the 6. And you get rid of that, and you've got a 6-inch block. So this is what's really great about this. So if your blocks are ever only going to be 6.5 inches, you want the mini one. That is going to be £36.99, and you can then cut your blocks up to 6.5 inches all the way along. This one I've cut to 6. If you want to cut up to 12.5 inches, which is almost double the size, the previous ruler I was showing you, that's what you're going to want to do, is you're going to want to get for a slightly larger one. But it's a really lovely way of squaring your blocks up really accurately, and you just do all your blocks exactly the same way. So this one's £44.99 for the 12.5 inch ruler, but if you're never going to cut 12.5 inch blocks, you're only ever going to do 6.5, then you're going to want to get the smaller one, which is the mini, the Stripology squared mini ruler, and that one's £36.99. Very, very exciting that. So I think I've got the scrappy one next, don't I? So I am really excited about this. Where is my other packet? Sorry, I was just looking, I thought I hadn't opened one of these. So this is how you're going to get your packet of the scrap. These ones sold out within the show the last time I did the show, which was really amazing. So you're going to get your rulers like this. They'll all be bundled up for you like that. You've got 5 pieces on them. So you've got A, B, C, D, E, and F. Really lovely group sets there. And the great thing is having done this before, I got so addicted to this block, I went and cut out so many different pieces, which is fabulous, because I wanted to just make as many of these as I could. So what I've got is, I can show you now, because I know these are all the same size, because I cut them all out. That was spare. So you can see, although I don't have the rulers out, you can see this is how you cut them all out. And you get loads of, well, I cut out loads because I just couldn't stop, can you tell? And these are literally all different shapes and colours and sizes, and not sizes, but obviously different shapes. That's the wrong one. So you can see you've got loads of different ideas of how you can now put those together into a scrappy block. So what I did the first time was I made, with one of the fabric bundles that we had previously, I made this out to show you just how they all work. So you can see it's a really unique product in the different blocks and shapes and colours that you can get. I'll move these over so you can see you can do 4 different colorways. So that was the Jelly Sweets combination that we had on the show earlier, on the 8 o'clock show. But there's the same Jelly Sweets with a different colorway, just doing it slightly differently. And then there's a different one, just popping a little bit in the middle. And there's another one with a bit in the middle. And then you can just, I'm going to just do a little bit of a flyby, if you like, of different products that we've got of the scrappies. So what you can see some of them have little pops of color in the middle, like that one. So what it is on your ruler templates, you've got an option of putting number E on, of putting the E on, and when you've got the E, you can then cut. Just double checking because I thought I had one cut out. What you're doing is you've got that piece there, which is going to go into your block like that, but you've got the option of folding that back and putting another pop of color in. If we can show that on the overhead. So you can see this is where I've got that there, but in another block, oops, it looks like that. So if I wanted to, have I got that one in pink? That's in a yellow one. Okay, so let's just imagine that was a pink block and I wanted to pop that bit in there. All you do is you put that in there, you fold that to that line there, and then you just pop a bit of colour in. And you can then just attach that on and you can have that little pop of colour. That's utilising the E block in here. But you've got all these different ways of using it, and the Creative Grids way of doing it, this is exactly how you will get your kit. Exactly like that. With this fabulous cutting plan and pattern plan, you'll be able to see all these different designs and the way you can do it. And you can do all these different shapes over here. They'll show you how to do all these different shapes and isosceles triangles and is that an octagon or hexagons? And you can see all the different ways of doing it. And they show you how to do it all with this ruler, even to the point of cutting it all out. So it's a really great set of instructions. Don't throw them away. And that's how you're going to get it. So I'm just going to do a very quick demo of showing you how you're going to put these all together. 2 seconds while I grab my foot. Actually, you know what? I'm going to show you how you sew them together in the 3rd hour, because I'm here for 3 hours today. So I'll show you how that all goes together later in the hour, because I want to show you this new product we've got in today. So that's this non-slips Scrap Crazy 6 inches. So the first thing I'm going to do this is I have my sample fabric here. I'm going to cut some of this out so I can show you. And these are different fabrics that we've had on the website and different fat quarter bundles that we've had on. I'm going to neaten these all up and fold these to be able to make sure I've got some nice crisp edges for when I do my circles. Because circles are next. Not done the circles before. So this amazing ruler from Creative Grids as well is just so good. Again, it's got that non-slippy technology with those beautiful raised beveled edges that you're easily able to use this ruler. So if you are looking for a really good 6.5 by 24.5 inch ruler, this one by Creative Grids is really good. And all I'm doing now is I'm just folding these up in the middle to make sure that I've got everything squared up to use for our next demo. Always thinking ahead. Make sure I get that nice and straight. Because you know I don't want to waste any fabric. I want to make sure I'm using as much of the fabric as I can. So now we've got some nice clean edges there. That's a really lovely ruler. The one I definitely feel I bought the wrong ruler when I bought mine. I love that ruler. So now I'm going to start by doing the demo and showing you how to use it, and then I will show you the bits that I've already cut out previously. So it's a little bit of a fiddle to get started, but it's an easy fiddle to fix. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to line your fabric up into the middle of the ruler. So you can see now what I've done. That's 7.5 there, that's 7.5 there, and I've got this black cross here. So you can eyeball it, or when you've got your fabric already folded up in half, you can then do one extra step and fold your fabric that way. Oops. And then that little fold line that you've just done, you can line up there. So this ruler is the Fiskars circle ruler, and it is, I've not used this product before today, and I tell you, it's wonderful. It is so lovely. So you line the fabric up like that, and the reason you want to do this is because, I'm going to do a bit of a preview on the ones that we've cut out already. I hate circles. I hate them. I never know how to use them. I can never cut them properly. Most of us take a plate and we put the plate down on the table, draw a circle, then cut them out or rotary cut them out. Not one of our circles is the same. It's not safe because you're either using a rotary cutter and you're going to cut into yourself or free motioning, so you've got to be very careful with that. So the dinner plate thing is great, but it doesn't really work as well because you don't get the consistency. Whereas here, you've got loads of little circles cut out all the way along. And you've got these circles cut out. And it's brand new to the channel before, because I was going to show, and then you've got, if you wanted a circle with a circle in the middle. And then if you want to put that circle in the middle there, you can do that, and you've got a circle in the middle. Or you can put a yellow circle in the middle. It's just a wonderful, wonderful way of doing it. So here's just a piece of fabric that we've got. I've folded it in half because I want to have a full circle or an empty circle, but you don't have to, because these ones, I didn't have two pieces. I do just have two. I just put fabric with which wasn't folded in, and you can see they work just as well. So you can now sew these ends together and you can have a double-sided circle, and then when you've got your double-sided circle, you can put a yellow in the middle. Can't go wrong with that. It's just a really fun product. So when you're using it, you're going to get the product like this, which is going to have a protective cover on. Make sure, because it's a rotary cutter, that it's always left on with the cover, because that blade, if you press this down, is there. And it's a very sharp rotary cutter blade. And if that goes down, please, I don't want people hurting themselves. So in here, I can see that my biggest circle I can cut is 7 inches all the way along. So what I'm going to do is, because this is my first time using it, and I suggest you do this as well. So 7 is the biggest one. So I know that everything over 7 is going to be wasted fabric. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plop this into number 9. So you can see on the overhead here, I've got 2 little ridges, one there and one there. Notice I have not put my finger in the middle near the rotary cutter because I do not want you bleeding or hurting yourself. So these 2 little ridges, I'm going to put in number 9. And by that, I mean I'm going to hover it over number 9. I'm going to start the other side, you'll be able to see it better. In number 9, you can see that it slots in really easily and you can move it. If you put it like that, it's not slotting in, it's not moving. And you can see what I mean, it's a bit wobbly. That means that these little slots are not slotted in. And if you get one in and not the other, just keep rotating it around until it fits onto the ruler, that it's completely flat. And I'll show you from the overhead there. You can see that it's nice and flat. Previously it was like that and it wasn't caught. So here you can see it's nice and flat, and you're going to go round the circle in that circular fashion. Make sure you've lined, and this is now your practice. This is, you know that 7 is your biggest circle. 7 is your biggest circle, so I'm putting my hand in the middle there, knowing that I'm not going to be cutting by the 7. I'm going to be cutting by the 9, and the only reason I'm doing this is because if you've not used the product before, just have a bit of a practice. You're going to get rid of this piece of fabric anyway, because it's not going to be a full circle. So you put your hand down, and you just hold it down like that, and you just follow the curve of the ruler all the way around. And that way then you're practicing. You're not losing anything, you're not got anything wrong with it, and you're just getting more comfortable with how this goes around the circle. Then move out to number 10, and then by the time you've done number 11, you feel much more comfortable with it. And you can see you've practiced all the way along, and you've got all this fabric that you're going to be getting rid of, which is fabulous, because now you've done your little practice, and you've not wasted or damaged or hurt any fabric that you're going to actually be using. So it's a nice little way of doing that, and you're not wasting any fabric. Now, I've just committed a cardinal sin because I've left this on the side. Don't pop it back in its little tray when you're not using it, because otherwise you're going to dull the blade or potentially hurt yourself. So again, you line this back up. You can see that's where you cut before. I know my biggest circle is number 7. I'm going to line this up into number 7. It's nice and fit. It's fitting perfectly in there. Press it down. And away we go. So I've done number 7, and then I'm going to do number 4. You don't have to do that. This is just for me to show you how you're doing it. So there you go. Everything past number 7 you're not going to use, so you can get rid of that. And now you've got a circle and an empty circle. So when you're wanting to make a quilt with this, you can then just put this down. You've got a lovely empty circle. You can put some embroidery in the middle, or you can put that down and you just circle around it, you stitch around it, and you've got a wonderful piece. But not only that, so we've now done one. We're feeling a little bit bold. I've got 2 pieces of fabric folded up there. Hopefully this is going to work. I've not done 2 pieces of fabric before. We're going to give it a go. Fold that to get your central line again. Actually, I'm going to do 1 piece. I don't want to mess it up. So there we go. We've got that folded. You've got your 1 piece there. We've done that fabric. I'm going to do this fabric. Whoops. Fabric's flying away from me today. So you can see what I've done is I've folded it into quarters simply to get the line, not to do anything else, just to get that line. So you can see I've got a line there, and this is the line that I'm folded on. Right, I take my little circle ruler back, I line my little black crosshairs up with the edge of the fabric there, and then that one is on the center of my fold. Make sure you've got that right. Again, I've done it again, leaving that on the side. Make sure you pop that onto the little bit there because it's easier for you. So you can see the biggest number I can cut is 10 and 10. So I'm going to do 10 and 10. So the first one I'm going to cut is 10. Oh, and I think I'm just a little bit shy there on the 10. So I know that I cut a 7, so I'm going to cut a 7. That was the one I cut previously. And I cut a 4. So I'm going to line this up there. And I'm going to do a 4. But I also did I did a 10, that didn't work, so I'm going to do a 9 as well. So there we go. Pop that back in the blade cover. And everything you're getting rid of, take away. You can see what I did there. You've got that little edge there that's a bit blunt, so you get rid of that because it didn't quite work. And you can see now you've got a big circle. You've got the previous one we cut there, which is going to slot in nicely there. And then you've got the 4 in the middle. So they all fit in so beautifully. So if you wanted to put a bit of Bonder web on the back of that, you could then just press that straight onto your fabric and use it. You could just make a different colour thing. Or if you wanted to do, I don't know if this is the same size. Oh, it is. So here's a way of being able to do different colours. And then you can pop that in the middle there. So you can do it all scrappy, you can do different ways of doing it, then that's the same. Because you can cut all these different fabrics out, different ways of doing it. And then if you wanted to as well, you just think, oh, I'm actually going to pop a little circle there. Look at that! It's just totally different. And you can see all made with 1 ruler. And this is my first time using it today, and it's so easy. Really, really easy way to do it. My only top tip would be work out the width of the fabric that you've got, cut and practice on the outer bits that you're not going to use, and that way then you get the hang of it. Because it takes a little bit of practice getting a hang of it, and you're holding it like that to go around. Pushing it down like that doesn't work very well. You're holding it down and creating constant pressure on this, and just pushing it down and going all the way around, and that makes your life a lot easier. And just please make sure that you're putting this back in your rotary cutter blade, keep yourself safe, and yeah, what a lovely product. $31.99 for the Fiskars Circle Fabric Cutting Ruler. Really, really lovely. I'm so glad it's the first time we've had it on and the first time we've been able to do it. But I cut some of these out earlier. Sorry, I'm going to just gloat about these a little bit more. And you can just see the different colorways that you can do and the different ways you can do it. It just works so beautifully. All from 1 ruler. And then if you wanted to, and that one's a bit distorted because I was practicing and folded it wrong. But you can see you can do anything you like with them. You can layer them all up. You've got another one here. And the great thing with this is if you're ever making a quilt and you're a little bit afraid of doing something designy or modern, you can then just take it. Let's say that the green was your background and you wanted to do this. You can just lay these all out however you like and cut out loads of different circles, different sizes. So you can see I've got that little pop of yellow. Oops. Something's happened to that little yellow. There we go. You can see it just gives it that nice, that fun, different, unique way of making a quilt. And you could just do these as sparsely or as closely as you like. You can see these really were my practice pieces. I'll fold that round, we'll pretend that's solid. But it's just a nice, fun way of being able to create something different using well, for me, they're a particularly scary shape. But just look at that. That's just using a couple of fabrics that I've had lying around in my basket that I've used on previous shows, that you can just see that it creates such a different, unique look to it. And if you wanted to, you just pop some Bonder Web on the back of them. Otherwise, you just go and then put these onto your fabric by doing them. You stitch these down as you would a normal curve. But it's just a fun way of doing something so different and unique. But just what a wonderful product. Limitless options on it as well. I love this. And look how easy it is to store away. So that you just pop on the side and you get the gorgeous ruler. And these, I think, these rotary cutters are really strong and they're going to last quite a while on them as well. So there we go. $31.99 for the handle and the ruler. Can't go wrong with that. Oh, we've had a message in. Who we've had? From Tracy. Hello, Tracy. Good morning. She's saying good morning, John. She's saying that Creative Grids Stripology rulers are a must for any quilter. I know! She says it's really good for cutting strips or borders. That makes it much easier. And a really good addition to your sewing / cutting table. Really good advice, that, Tracy. I fully agree with you. They're really great. Thank you for writing in. If you want to get in touch with us, we can get us on Sewing Street Fans, or you can get us on Sewing Street TV. We'd love to hear from you. And if you've got any questions about a product that I'm doing, or you want to see me do it in a different way, drop us a line and I can do what I can. The Sewing Street TV is on screen at the moment. That's the page that's managed by the company. Otherwise, we've got Sewing Street Fans, which is more fan-based things. So we monitor both, so drop us a line as well. And we're also monitoring our Instagram, which is @SewingStreet. Drop us a message on that and we'll be able to reply to that too. Oh my goodness, I'm hearing we're only got 20 left of the scrap ruler. And I've just found the one I was looking for. Sorry, I buried it under the box. So I can take it out now and show you. So this is how you're going to get it. This is one we opened up earlier that I buried underneath the box. Sorry about that. So this is what the rulers look like. You're going to get 5 rulers. I'm going to lay these out. Sorry, you're getting 4 rulers, not 5. Getting 4 rulers, and they go together like that, but obviously you've got your seam allowances, so it's going to go differently. I'm going to pop this on a black piece of paper so you can actually see them. Maybe not. So I'll hold these up for you. So this is block A. This is block A. And then if you wanted to do that addition of that little pop of colour, that's going to be using the E block over there. So A would be your purple there, and E would be that multicoloured bit there. That's that ruler there, which slots in there. And you can see the E. You can use it or you can't use it. It's entirely up to you. That's with it being used, and sorry, that's with it not being used. So you can see the slight difference there, just giving a hint of colour in the middle. But you don't need to use it. You can do it exactly like that. So that's with the A block without using the E block. And then you've got the D block, which is this little corner over here. So you can see there, if I reflect it, you can see the D block over there. And then we've got the C block, which is our big pink block over here. And again, I'll flash the ruler, and then you can see the C block underneath it. And then finally, we've got the B block over here with the purple, and I'll flash it there so you can see, and then you can see the purple underneath it. But even these, you can see, if I flash that again for you as well, if I can get the light, where are you? Gone, no, can't get it. You can see it's, there we go. Can you see that rough edging on the side? That's that Creative Grid technology, that when you're using the ruler, it's not going to slip on you. It's going to be holding it, it's going to hold that. And each of these rulers have that little grid on the back, that little ridge. You can see it there on the edge. That's got, each and every one of them have it. It's just that Creative Grid smart technology on being able to do it. And the last time we had this on the air, it sold out so quickly. So please, if you are interested, less than 20 left. We will do our best to get them back in again if they sell out again, but don't miss out. You can start on this as soon as possible. So it's just a really lovely product, this, and you can see I've now cut out, where have I put them? I've hidden them nicely. There they are. So that's our C blocks, and that's our A blocks, that's our D blocks, and that's our B blocks. So that just gives you an idea of how we cut them out and how we do them. And then when you sew them all together, that's going to be our wonderful jelly, what was our bundle called? The jelly sweets. The jelly sweets. So this is the jelly sweets package, and I popped a couple of E's in onto this one, so you can see just how different they all look. And then using our fat quarter design packs that we have, different ones that we have, you can see just how different they all look on these. So you can just see how different they all look with each one that you're doing, which is great because as it being a scrappy ruler, you want it to be scrappy and you want it to be different. But this one, you'll see that I've been able to do these using only 2 colours, and that works really well as well. I did another one with just 2 colours, but of course I can't find that now. Typical. And then if you're interested in doing a whole quilt on it, I only did 9 blocks here. But you can see it just gives you an idea of how it would work. And you can see that yellow is really vibrant. It really pops out beautifully. This is also a bundle that we've got on the website, so do have a little look on our website for previous bundles. But it just works so well. And you can just see it's completely multi-directional. You can do it however you like. And it still works. It works really well. And the great thing with these scrappy ones is you can use any fabric, or if you want to choose to use a set fabric for the whole thing, it's really easy to do, and it's just such a fun way. I got so addicted. You can see how many I've cut out and I'm ready to sew and to get done. I've got loads of them ready to go. But it's just a really fun way of using up your scraps. I did these into 6.5-inch strips, but let's say it wasn't 6.5-inch squares. Whatever you've got left over, you can just then cut bits of bobs out of those. I'm just so thrilled to have these back in stock because I didn't get one the last time, so I'm very excited. I'm hoping I get one this time. But don't hang about, they're selling quickly, and if you haven't checked out of your box, checked out your shopping basket, it isn't yours. So if you've got it in your basket and then somebody else calls in and it's one of the few left over, unfortunately it will be taken from your basket, and we don't want you to miss out, so make sure you do check out. And it's only the 1-day P&P, so you're not going to lose any money by checking out early if there's something else. So we're going to recap the Jelly Sweets bundle here. I've gone through the sewing machine because the throat is so enormous on the sewing machine, I can. And this is a really lovely collection of fabrics, and you can see how well they work together with our Scrap Crazy ruler. If I can. You can see how well they work with our Scrap Crazy ruler. It's just a lovely combination, these. Just such a lovely combination here. I'll just show you the size of one of these because we did these in the first hour because we were with you at 8 o'clock this morning. So that's how much you're getting of each piece. This is 1/2 meter. It's $13.96 for the bundle, which is all 4 pieces. And it's just a lovely colour combination which has been chosen because I think colours are sometimes the hardest thing to get. But the hard work's done for you. It's great. And that's a really lovely bundle, the Jelly Sweets Plain collection. I keep wanting to say Jules, but it's not, it's jelly. Gotta love a bit of jelly. And then we've also got our lovely Cool collection, which is new to us today. Tropical, what is it called? Tropical Ocean. Sorry, I keep calling it Cool, because they do look so cool, don't they? Like the tropical ocean, of course. So that's 2 meters, you get a 1/2 meter of each piece. I'll just show you the size of this blue, and that's for £13.96. Unfortunately, none of these fabrics are available by the 1/2 meter at the moment, so you can only get them by the 1/2 meter. And if you order 2 or 3 bundles, you will get them in half-meter pieces, unfortunately, because they're already cut. Or fortunately, it's up to you. Depends how you look at it. And there we go. These are some wonderful colour combinations. I think that's really great. This is such a lovely bundle, that. Tropical Ocean Fabric Bundle, 2 meters for $13.96. So I'm going to now show you this fabulous rotating cutting mat, which I use a lot for these. Really, really good product, this. And for starters, you get to do this, and if you flick it correctly, you can spin it round like that, which I love. But you shouldn't really do that. But it's a really great product, 12 inches square. And the great thing is especially when you're cutting these, I'm not going to cut it. Actually, I'm going to cut it. How long have I got? Try and be very quick on this, because the ruler set works so well with this rotary cutting mat. So when you lay these out, you can see you get a natural. Now I know I'm cutting these all out in the same way, and I'm very confident with my rotary cutter. I do not suggest you do this at home. I'm confident with my rotary cutter, which is why I'm doing that. And then I'm going back to use my wonderful 24.5 by 6.5 inch ruler by Creative Grids as well. And I'm just resting that on top of the templates, and I'm cutting that across to make my life a little easier for when I cut these shapes. So now I know that this is a nice straight flat edge. So what I'm doing now is I'm comfortably holding that there safely, and I'm letting that go there. And I know that that one is a nice straight line, so I'm able to cut there. But now I don't feel safe cutting the rest of those. I just rotate my mat. And the great thing is I'm not even getting it on the half, which is what I love about this product, is I can now line up there, go like that, and I can go over here, and I can get rid of those. I know people were worried about when I say get rid of, they all go to charity. I'm not throwing anything in the bin, I promise. Nothing goes to waste. And then I rotate it again, and can you see how much safer this is? And some rotating mats that you get, they wobble like crazy, and it makes my blood stop, because I'm just wondering and thinking, gosh, that's not safe. But this is a really fabulously safe product. And it doesn't matter how many times you rotate it, it's still, your fabric is still stationary, and you're still safe no matter how you cut it. And then this one didn't go right the way through on my first cut. There we go. So all I do now is I get rid of the little bits and bobs there. And I've now cut these out beautifully. But the rotating mat made that so much easier. I'm going to do this one as well. Oh, and I've got this long edge to go there. So I know that's free, so I'll put that over here. Oops. No moving, and you can see I'm rotating this a lot. Now, you would have been running around your table, or you would have been cutting in a way that would have not been safe. You know, that's my pet hate in life. But now I've cut those out perfectly, ready to go for my next project. And they just perfectly cut. Everything's been done beautifully. There's no risk to yourself, and it's just a lovely, lovely product. So I firmly believe every sewing studio should have one of these. Every single bag that you've got going off to a retreat, going off to a sewing day, this is safety. It is really, it makes your life easy. And it's just a really lovely product, and it works really well. And you can see it doesn't matter what angle it's at, it's what's safe and what's good for you. So lovely product this. If you do need one, make sure you do that. We've got this amazing extra large cutting mat as well. So this is 34 inches this way, and this one 22 inches this way. So anybody who watches us regularly will know that this lives on our table because it's such a great product, and it's always the one that I go to. It's my go-to product, having something this big, being able to get something, and that's $37.99. And again, it's only £3.95 one-day P&P, so you're not paying extra just because it's bigger. Just make sure that you keep it flat. If you haven't got a space big enough to keep it flat, under the bed, under the sofa. But if you put this with a little bit of a dent or a curve, it will distort, so you do need to keep it flat. And obviously some people don't have the space to be able to put it on a table all the time. So underneath the sofa, top tip, otherwise underneath the bed, just make sure it's nice and flat. So we've now got our Prim ironing mat, and we've got this wonderful ironing, what are we calling this? An ironing blanket. So we've got our lovely Prim ironing blanket here, and we've got one of our fabrics, which were the So Easy Bold Fat Quarter Bundle fabrics. Lovely fabric, that. And we've got our lovely Prim iron, which, oh, it's nice and warm, ready for us. Just going to test that there. Brilliant. And of course, now I'm going to iron out all my fold lines. Going to iron out all my fold lines, which means I won't be able to get this back in the bundle after all this. Oh, now one thing with a Prim iron, don't use it when the light is on. It means it's not ready for you. There we go, it's ready now. Look at the creases just melting away. I'm going to turn off the steam function. But it's such a little iron, but look how easily it's done that. Just see how easy that it's just disappeared. You can see how easy, and these have been folded for ages. So you can now get this nice and flat with the utmost ease with such a cute, sweet little iron. And this ironing blanket, it's a really nice thing to have, because taking an ironing board or an ironing tray sometimes is a little hard. We don't all have the space for them. And having this, you can then just fold this up and put it in your sewing bag. No problem at all. Take it with you. You can lay it out whenever you want it, because sometimes you don't need it for all the time. You just need it for that few moments that you're going to press something. And then when you're finished pressing your fat quarter and getting all the creases out, I've got a little bit more creasing to get rid of over here. Once you've done that, so once you've finished ironing it, I'm going to just cover my beautiful Juki in that. So once you finish using it, all you do, and in your sewing bag, it's done. You don't need anything more. It's ready for you. It's then in your bag, and the next time you need it, you plop it out, get your fabric on top of it, and you're off ironing again. So you don't need to leave this one out all the time. And I find this is, because I have one of these myself, because I love taking these with me, because sometimes I don't press all the time, but when I do, especially when you're in a group, you can't always get to the iron. But this at $24.99 for this ironing blanket, it's just such a nice price, and it takes no room up in your sewing bag, and there we go. And you've got all your lines and your measuring on it as well, which is great if you need those. But it's just nice, flops into your iron, and it weighs next to nothing. It's probably, what, 100 grams, 100 and 200 grams maybe? Really lightweight, just goes into your sewing bag nice and easy, ready to use. So again, look at this bright fabric, isn't it just lovely? So that's the top colour. I'm hoping I can get this fold right again to get it back in the bundle. I probably can't, because I'm famous at being really silly at folding these all back. So you've got that lovely, beautiful dark pink. Nope, that's terrible. That's a little less terrible. Oh, that's a really good idea. Hannah's just dropped a message in saying these would work really, really well for the mug rugs that Debbie had on yesterday. What a really good idea. It's a really beautiful colourway, this. They're really lovely and light and vibrant and beautiful. Really lovely colourway, that. And a nice fabric and such a good price, £12.99. What was it, £1.62 a fat quarter? Cannot go wrong with that, that's for sure. Gosh, we've had lots of products in, it's been great. And we've got the Juki up next. I am so excited about this Juki. It is such a lovely, lovely product. I cannot wait to show you this. So that was where we are now. What have we got left to show you? Shall I recap the early bird? So some of you may have missed the 8 o'clock show, 3 hours now going forward. So you can join us from 8 o'clock till 11, all live. And then we'll have some repeat shows from 11 till 1. So this is our early bird special at the moment. It is our rose gold millwood scissor set. So you've got these dressmaking shears. You've got these lovely embroidery scissors over here, which are 9.5 centimeters. The dress shears are 21.50. You've got the pins with the rose gold heads, and you've got this lovely thimble, nice size on it as well. It fits my finger really well. So it fits my finger really well on that, and it fits this one. There's a little bit of a gap in between, but I prefer to use my middle finger on it as well. I think that's it's just what works well for me. So size-wise, that'll work really well. And for $14.99, you're normally just paying that for the scissors, which are a really nice heavyweight pair of scissors, and I think you'll just really be very happy with that as a product. And as a gift, Easter coming up, we've always want to get something nice for the people that we love, that we know they're going to use, and this product will definitely not sit in a drawer. Really great stuff we've got on today. Anything that you haven't seen today, you want to recap on, don't forget you can call our call centre if you have any questions, 0800 001 4433, failing which all the products are on sewingstreet.com on the website. You'll have our little YouTube page at the beginning, and then beneath that will be all the products we've had from today's show and yesterday's show and all the other shows. So we're going to have a little quick break to take everything off our set and get ready for this amazing Juki. I am so excited about this. So we'll be back in a couple of minutes. Bear with us, you'll have a couple of graphics coming up on your screen, and we'll be back in a few minutes. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you now. Bye-bye.
Hello there, I'm Debbie Shaw, and I would love you to join me on the first Monday of every single month for Sewing Street Surgery. Now, this is a dedicated hour where I answer your questions, and that could be questions about techniques, it could be questions about tools, it could be questions about new products, or maybe something that you've seen that you just don't understand. There's a lot of questions about tensions on sewing machines, and there's a lot of questions about working with different weights of fabrics. So if you have a question that you'd like to ask me, the easiest way to bring a question over to us is to go to our Facebook page and post your question on there. I will collate all of those questions throughout the week. If we need any new products for you, or if we need any new demonstrations, those will all be worked on leading up to that first Monday of the month. So do join me, Debbie Shaw, on Sewing Street Surgery on the first Monday.
Hello and welcome. We love hearing from you and we really hope that you can follow us on our social media platforms. We've got Instagram, which is @Sewing Street. We have Facebook. We've got two Facebook pages. One is the Sewing Street TV page and the other one is Sewing Street Fans. All three of these are monitored all the time by our wonderful team, and if you want to message us on air, drop us a line on either of those three and we'll definitely be able to answer your questions that you may have. If you post on the actual wall, we can perhaps answer there. Otherwise, message us as well. That works really, really well. Thank you so much for being involved, and it's only because of this community that we're able to bring you all these different diverse products and to be able to answer your questions that you may have. Another way you can stay in touch with us is by signing up to our newsletter. These newsletters are sent out to you very regularly, and they include not only our guest profiles of upcoming guests, but also amazing shows that we've got coming up for you. And if you want to look at the amazing products before everybody else, that's the best way to do it. If you'd like to sign up and you haven't already, the link to follow is www.sewingstreet.com/sign up. You won't regret it. Thank you.
Hello there, I'm Debbie Shaw, and I would love you to join me on the first Monday of every single month for Sewing Street Surgery. Now, this is a dedicated hour where I answer your questions, and that could be questions about techniques, it could be questions about tools, it could be questions about new products, or maybe something that you've seen that you just don't understand. There's a lot of questions about tensions on sewing machines, and there's a lot of questions about working with different weights of fabrics. So if you have a question that you'd like to ask me, the easiest way to bring a question over to us is to go to our Facebook page and post your question on there. I will collate all of those questions throughout the week. If we need any new products for you, or if we need any new demonstrations, those will all be worked on leading up to that first Monday of the month. So do join me, Debbie Shaw, on Sewing Street Surgery on the first Monday.
Welcome back. I'm John Cole Morgan and welcome to Sewing Street for my third hour. It's my first third-hour show. I'm very excited, and I'm even more excited because I've got this phenomenal Juki machine. I won't deny it took great reluctance to get this back into the studio today because I just thought, oh, it looks so good in my studio, and I was sewing with it all day yesterday. Really amazing product, but we're going to come back to that. Got a couple of few little bits and bobs to show you first. First thing I'm going to show you today is our wash away quilter's tape. So I've never used this before because I've just never done bags, I've never done applique, and it's the most wonderful product. The more I read about it, the more excited about it I get. So this has been referred to as being like sewing with a third hand because it holds everything together. It's double-sided, transparent wash-away tape. So you would then, if you're sewing a zip together, you can then hold your bits of fabric together and sew through it, and then you wash it and it comes away immediately. If you're doing applique, you do exactly the same thing. You can put your applique in place, sew through, stitch it on, not a problem, and then you wash it away. You put it through the washing machine and it all washes away. No residue, no discoloring, and it's all just in this one amazing product. You're getting 10 meters of it, and it's 8 millimeters wide. So you can see it's 8 millimeters wide there, but you're getting 10 meters on a roll for $6.99. Really, really great price. Really lovely product. You can use this for putting in zips, bag making, applique, and it's just a really lovely, lovely product. And the great thing is once you've washed it, no residue, no marking of your fabric, and it just completely disappears as if you've never done it. So it's a nice little cheat, if you like, but to help you to make your life a lot easier on it. So that one is the double-sided transparent, and we've also got just the standard quilter's tape. So this one I have used before, because what this you would do is if you're doing cross-hatching or you're wanting to mark out a piece of fabric so you can sew on it or sew next to the line, this is the product that you'd want to use. You couldn't use this to put zips in or anything like that. This is just more to mark your fabric up, and then you would peel it away afterwards. Also, again, not having any residue left on the fabric. It's got a light adhesive on it, and there's no residue once you pull it away, but a really good product. And if you're going to do free motion quilting and you're not really comfortable drawing on it, you'll be able to just put this on, mark out where you're wanting to sew next to it or on it, either way, and it will just pull away afterwards. Don't sew too much on it, otherwise it'll make pulling it away a lot harder. But again, a really lovely product, and $1.99 for 27 meters. And it's 6 millimeters wide, but 27 meters on this little roll. And it's one of those things that you'd be able to use over and over again, because 27 meters, that's a lot of distance that you'd have to be sewing to use it all up. So really lovely products, these. Great thing to add to your order today. A great thing to have in your sewing kit as your sewing arsenal, if you like, being able to do different things. You've got the double-sided, which is for bag making, putting in zips and applique, and then you've got the single-sided quilter's tape, which is more for cross-hatching and marking out where you're going to be sewing. Really great products. Do check them out. So our star of today's show has to be our incredible NX7 Juki sewing machine. Oh gosh, that crept up on me, sorry. Sorry about that. That's when you talk for too long and something goes the wrong way. So the great thing about this is not only do you get the machine and all the extras that come with it, you're going to get £200 worth of feet that goes with it. So this is, unfortunately, they haven't arrived in the studio today. We're on skeleton staff, so please forgive us that the feet haven't arrived. But I can tell you what they're about. You've got the bias binder foot, the free motion embroidery foot, which if I remember was open-toed. You've got the cording foot. Now, the most special thing for me on this whole deal is you get an adapter foot. So machines like this are called low shank machines. And there are many, many brands, many different machines that are all low shank machines. So what Juki have done is they recognize that other people with low shank machines will have spent hundreds of pounds on feet. And those feet, if you change machines and go to a Juki machine from another brand that you would have used before, those feet, sometimes you don't want to spend the money on the feet. So what they've done is they've developed this low shank adapter. And the adapter you attach onto the arm of your machine here, onto your ankle of your machine, and that makes all the feet that you had previously with your low shank machine, well, not all, they're saying 90% of the feet are completely adaptable with this machine. Now that is completely unique. I have never seen that before, and I have looked for it, but it is a really lovely, lovely thing for them to be able to offer you. Because we spend so much money on the feet and we get comfortable with the feet that we know, and then when you've got a low shank machine and you change it to this machine, you think, oh, the feet, and it might stop you purchasing it. But now that you've got that adapting, the adapter, it's such a great, I don't know what the right, it's a great bonus, if you like, that Juki can offer, that you can bring all of those machines with you. And that's coming free with our bundle today. You also get a few extra bobbins and 2-year warranty. That is amazing. Now, Gary came in a couple of weeks ago to do the show with me. So if you go through the YouTube videos that are on previously, the YouTube page you're searching for is Sewing Street. And if you click on Sewing Street, there'll be a little tab that says videos. And then if you go and scroll down the videos, you'll be able to see Gary and I doing the Juki video. I interrupt him a lot because I am so excited about this machine, so please forgive me for that. But the machine is such a great product, and Gary explains so much about this machine, and there'll be things that I won't be able to touch on today. But make sure you check that out if you're wondering about this machine, because it's a really great video to be able to show you how to use different functions on the machine. So those are the two things available. And then the last thing I wanted to mention, which he mentioned in the video as well, is classes. We buy these machines, we're not sure how to use them, so we're always getting a bit nervous about where to go and what to do and how to do them. They do classes at the Juki places where they teach, and they're throughout the country, for less than £50 for a whole day's teaching, and they give you lunch. So you cannot go wrong with that type of tuition as well. So you can easily book yourself onto a class if you've bought the machine for less than £50. You obviously need to get there and go and do the day, but it's a really great add-on that they can offer you in order to make sure that you know exactly what you're doing with the machine. So with the machine as well, you're going to get this amazing... I'm going to show you the foot first, because I like knowing how big my foot is. And I'm being very lazy, not wanting to bend down. Look how cute it is. It is so little and so adorable, and just a really, really easy foot to use. So the great thing here is you've got this option here, which I'm going to turn the machine off first. You can turn the machine off. This option here, when you press it, you can set it up that it can either cut your thread, raise the pressure foot. You can set up how you want this to be. And on the back, you've got these two screws that you can undo the screws with the handy screwdriver that they've given you. Lovely T-cross screwdriver. You can undo these screws and you can rotate it that this is on this side. So if you're left-footed, left-handed or left-footed, sorry, I'm not sure what the term is, or you prefer this being on the other side, all you're doing is unscrewing it there, putting it round to the other side and screwing it back in again. It's that simple. They have taken the technology and made it really, really user-friendly for you. And the great thing about it being a small foot is it doesn't run away from you. It doesn't run away from you, because obviously my little foot runs away because it's got a steel back and it just runs away. This one's got nice little edging on it. It's quite firm and it doesn't run away from you anywhere near as much as other feet that I've had. Oh, no, I can't put it back. Trying to save time and it didn't work. I'm going to just do this. Sorry about that. And you get this beautiful cover. Look at this. And the great thing, what I love about a cover like this, is it's got a hole here for your instructions. Because I always lose my instruction books all the time. So having them next to the machine in that pocket is great. And over here, you've got the pocket. We're going to pretend that this is the whole box of feet. And you can pop your feet in there very comfortably. Close it up and you always know where everything is. Really great big pockets there, easy to use, easy to keep, and it just fits beautifully. So when you're leaving this on your table or you're doing whatever, no dusting. You've got all this sorted on here. And this is included in the price. No extra money for that. And I'm just going to slide around here so I can pick the table up. You get this extension table as well, which is very easy to use. You just plop the legs out here. Doing this backwards and upside down. If I just did this sensibly, that would be much easier. But I'm doing it for telly, you know, but making it backwards. And I'm going to just slide around here and put it on, because it just slots in so beautifully. Oh, and I've just realised I've now got this resting on my mat. There we go. That's it. It's slotted on. So I can see here I'm not quite ready. You then just adjust your feet accordingly to the height that you want it to be. So all I'm doing, because maybe I can do it there, you can see now all I'm doing is I'm rotating the foot, and you can see it's now raising the pressure foot. I'm just rotating that there, and that gets it nice and flat and ready for you there. And this is all free. This all comes standard with your product. It's a fabulous machine. And then you get the little dongle pointy pressy thing. And the little pressy thing in it's going to come on. It'll wind down now. I always imagine there are little mice in there running now going to turn everything on. Got some beautiful LED lights in the middle here which just light up your space beautifully. And now it's telling you, is your needle up? So this is a really important question. So you can see at the moment my needle is up. So when it is, you press that and voila, it sets back into its original position that you had it at the last time, which is great. So that is the turning everything on. Over here, you've got a whole list of instructions. You can see you've got all the alphabets here. You've got all the buttonhole stitches over here. You've got all these beautiful creative stitches over here. And then you've got these fabulous different stitches all the way up here. And I know Gary did tell me how many stitches they were. Unfortunately, I can't remember. We've got all these wonderful stitches all the way here, but it's the different alphabets that are included in it are just amazing as well. And you've got this lovely little stylus that you then would use on the screen if you were wanting to do different bits and bobs. And for me, I cannot stand not knowing what my bobbin is. So what I do, what you've got here is you've got the option. Come on. Oh, okay, there you go. So now what you're doing is you're adapting your bobbin counter, your bobbin counter to see how far you're going. So you can either do it in meters, you can do it in yards, you can do it in how many meters you've got left or how many yards you've got left. And it just tells you, you can adjust it to tell you how many, a warning system to tell you when your bobbin is about to run out. So I'm going to do it at 5% because I like to know that I've still got a little bit left over. But if you wanted to do it in meters and you knew that your bobbin had, say, 200 meters on it, you could then increase this by meters. Sorry, so that's telling you when it's 100, this will tell you when it's 100%. So let's just say it's 150 meters. I have no idea how many it is, I'm just guessing. If you want to go and measure the bobbin on it and you know how much it is, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. So that's how we're doing that. So that's the bobbin ready to go. So when you've done that, you've got the little green tick. And you press the green tick and it's now saved it and it's now activated. So the next thing you have now is this button over here, which will tell you that you can have twin needles. You've got your pressure, so you've got an automatic pressure system here, which will tell you whether you want it to be you can use, so say for example using PU, you don't perhaps want to have quite as much pressure on it with the PU because you don't want the feed dogs to be marking your PU. So you can create what Gary called a floating area for your machine to allow the fabric through. So it's only allowing the pressure of the foot down as it's stitching. So it just sort of the fabric just sort of floats through. So also if you're using velvet and different products like that, you'll be able to not crush the pile. So this is how you would adjust that. I'm going to leave it on 0 simply because I'm just using normal quilter's cotton and I can't seem to use the stylist at this angle. While I've got this open as well, I'm going to just talk to you about the different feet that come as standard. So we've got loads of different feet that comes in standard, and you're going to forgive me because I'm reading it from the book because I know I'm going to get it wrong. So at the moment I have, what have I done? There we go. Just taking the foot that I've been using out on it. So the first foot that you're going to get is your standard presser foot, which is your A foot. Then you're going to get, and I'm not sure, so that's C, that's O. If I had any sense, I'd have sorted these out beforehand, but that would have been far too organised. Where's my zipper foot gone? There's my zipper foot. So you're going to have your normal standard sewing machine foot, your standard presser foot, which is number A. Then you're going to get your zipper foot. Then you're going to get your overcast presser foot. Then you've got number D, if I can find it, there's D, which is your blind stitch presser foot. And I'm hoping I sound like I know what all these things mean. I don't, but we're going to just pretend I do. And then Gary did an amazing demonstration with our buttonhole presser. Really incredible demo that. So do look at the YouTube video to see how to use your your buttonhole presser foot. Amazing stitch, that one. Then you've got the manual buttonhole foot there. Then you've got your patchwork presser foot, which is your P foot. And then you've got your open toe presser foot, which is your O foot. You've got your quilting presser foot there. And I think Gary said that this is the same foot that you would use for ruler work, which I think is really, really exciting. Never done ruler work on a sewing machine before, but I think it would be fabulous. Then you've got your straight stitch presser foot. And then you've got your 1/4 inch presser foot as well. So the 1/4 inch presser foot is what I would be using today. So the easy way of putting these in is I'm just going to go here and show you just how simple it is. So I've already threaded my machine up. You probably wouldn't have it all threaded ready to go. What's going on? Sorry, I'm going to have to rotate the machine for 3 seconds. I don't suggest doing that with your machine. Sorry, because for some reason... Oh, there we go. There we go. So all it was is that I didn't activate the press foot. So to just release them, there's a little black button on the end. You press it and they come knocking down. And then if your presser foot hasn't engaged, all you do is you press it up to engage it there. And then if you lower it down slightly, you'll be able to line the bar up on the foot just to get the foot all activated. And then again, it's got the normal, usual extra height on it as well. And the great thing with this is it's got an automatic threader as well, which you activate using this line over here. And it works! So automatic threaders are my bane of my life. I can never get them to work. This one worked perfectly first time, so I was thrilled with that. So that's one thing I forgot to tell you as well. So over here, you might not be able to see it very clearly. I'm going to raise my foot up. You've got a little arm over here that you can see I've just picked up and I'm sliding down. Now, I don't know about all of you, but I struggle with walking feet. Always have, always will. Why is that not going in? Oh, there we go. So what I've done there, if I just raise that down like that, I've activated the walking foot. That's it, the walking foot's activated. If you now want to do your 1/4 inch foot on that, all you do is you lower your foot and you reactivate it on. There's your walking foot. So the walking foot is normally around about £50 for a walking foot. This is included free on the machine. It's built in, it's a standard feature, and it's always going to be available there for you. Just pick it up, put it down. That simple. So a really lovely, lovely product that. Really nice little feature. And the case that you've got with it, I think the engineering with these is so clever. They're really good. And anybody who's got a Juki, normally people will get the industrial Jukis because the industrial Jukis last forever. And they work incredibly well and they're really good workhorses. And you literally just sit there and sew for hours on end. And it's amazing. It works really beautifully, really, really well. But this, they've got the same technology. They've got the same technology on this machine, but what they've done is they've tried to keep the technology of the straight stitch machine, which is industrial, but also provide you with the ability to have all these other fabulous stitches that go with it, like the buttonholing, like the zigzagging, like the lettering. And I think it's a really great product that they brought us and something that we definitely can enjoy. So all I'm doing now is I'm popping out some of my previously cut pieces of fabric from my lovely scrappy bundle that I was doing earlier, from my hour before with my scrap. What colour should I do on the side? I'm going to do a yellow. So this is the 6-inch scrappy ruler that I was showing you earlier. Now I'm going to sew them together. So I've got this already set up at 1/4 inch for me. I've got my walking foot activated, so I can leave that on, it doesn't matter. There we go. So you know me, I like to go fast, 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 fast. Lots of quilts to make, no time to do it all. So now I get to that point and I think, okay, I'm lazy. Not lazy, but I like less steps. So I press it and my fabric's all cut. And there we go. We're all ready to do that. So we've already sewn those two together nice and comfortably. 1/4 inch seam is lovely. I'm just finger pressing this for the minute. Oh no, I'm not. I'm going to use a product that we're going to show you later. Because these are fabulous. I love these products. We'll bring you that later, but I'm just using it now. Anything that will make your life easier, I think you should have. So now I'm going to sew these two together, if I can remember that's the correct way. Yes, it is. Line it up beautifully. And if you want to give it some welly, I'm going to do this last seam with the fastest speed, foot all the way down. And it just worked perfectly. So you can give it some welly if you want to, but you don't need to. The machine stitches so beautifully, you don't need to. So there we go. That is our 6-inch scrappy quilt block that we needed, that we made earlier. And it works so beautifully on the machine. It just stitches together so well. And I stitched for the design jelly roll race, the design roll race. I made that whole quilt out of this machine yesterday. So that whole quilt would easily fit into this. This is the largest non-embroidery machine throat in the industry. So it's a 12-inch throat, which is unheard of in any machine that hasn't got an embroidery machine on it. So it's a really nice big throat, and you can see it's very, very wide. 12 inches, really, really good. I think that's a fabulous feature on this. But now if you don't want to do straight stitching only and you want to do something else, so I think it's really important that you know how you're doing all of these things and how you are changing everything and you know what you're doing. So what I've done here, this is one thing we didn't do with Gary, is you're using your little screwdriver. Oh, come on. There we go, it's coming. There we go. And you're taking that out. So not only are you taking the stitch plate out, but you're also taking this out. So you can see I sewed for about 7 hours yesterday, and you can see it's a little bit messy. So the great thing about changing your stitch plate is it gives you the perfect chance to be able to go in and give your machine a little bit of a clean, because I definitely need to give that a bit of a clean. But as I said, I sewed with it yesterday for about 6 hours solidly, and if that's all I have to clean it with for after 6 hours, I'm very happy with that. So many of you don't know how to clean your sewing machines. This is all you're doing, is you're taking your little brush that comes free with it, and you go around and you just clear everything out and make sure everything's free and loose. I've just disengaged my bobbin, so I'll rethread that in a little while. And you just give everything a nice little brush. When you can see there's a little bit of a dust, get it out, and there you go, clean the machine. Took no time at all. So I've taken out the feed dogs for the straight stitch machine, the straight stitch plate, and I've taken out the straight stitch plate. Now I'm putting in the, what do we call this? Creative sewing feed dogs. So I'm popping that back in as well. So this is so what you're doing is you're taking, I'll move my hand out of the way, you're taking it at an angle, resting the back, and then pushing down, and it clicks in. So it's not difficult at all, and just as I did that I noticed a tiny bit of dust there, so I'm getting rid of the dust. And then this is the non-straight stitch plate, so I'm picking my thread up there, popping that in, there we go, stitch plate changed. Absolutely easy. Now to thread it, put the bobbin in, you're taking the front off, you've got your bobbin, So the first bit you're doing on is winding it round the metal bit next to the bobbin. Then number 2, you're going around this next little edge. And 3, you're going around the next plastic bit, and then it just snips off the bit that you don't need. Pop your plate back on. So that's perfect. So I now know that I've changed my foot, and it's come up with a message on the screen. It's going to say, check your standard stitch, check the presser foot. So I've left my presser foot up. I haven't got a foot in it yet. So now it tells me that I need either my A or my B stitch. Sorry, you need my A or my B foot, which is either going to be my zipper presser foot or my standard presser foot. So I'm going to go and put my standard presser foot in. And again, I'm just lowering that down. And there we go. That's all sorted. So that's how you would change the foot on it as well. You've now rethreaded it and got it already there. I am now going to try, I've got my foot down, I'm going to now try a fun stitch. So, and you'd have a fun game with playing with this. There's so many different options, so many different stitches that you can do with this. Let's do that one. So the great thing is you can make your zigzags wide, you can make your stitch length really long or really short. I'm going to make it like that. And all I've done now is I'm doing a standard zigzag. I've widened it to 6 and I've made my stitch length 1. So all I've done, that's it. All I've done, I've literally just turned the dials on the side, selected a zigzag, which was number 19, and oh wow, that's working really well. So that's at its fastest speed with my foot down. And if you want to do it slower, you just rotate the little slider bar towards the turtle from the bunny. Again, now my foot's flat down. And I'm going to call that a day. I'm going to get to the end of this stitch. There we go, one more. I'm going to press my cutting tool, lift my foot up, and look at how beautiful that is. Oh, you can see on the overhead that lovely little zigzag there. So you can see it's just a really lovely little zigzag. There are hundreds and hundreds of different stitches on here, loads of different buttonholes, lots of different things to do with it. It's just a really beautiful, beautiful machine. Standard 2-year warranty, this amazing little box where you can put all your feet when you've got it, and you'll be a bit neater than I will. And you've got little pockets for every foot. These ones, I think these went in here. But they all just slip away so beautifully in all of this. That one I know was for that foot there. Keep your bobbins in here. You've got all these hidden away in there. And for me, I would be storing these so that I could see all the letters of your feet there, and I'd probably put them in alphabetical order as well, just because I think that makes your life a little easier. And then your stitch plate goes in there. And then when you're ready to put it away, it's got a nice little plastic cover on the top thing there, and that's your tools all in one place. Really lovely, lovely product. Oh, I just left something out of it. Make sure I put that back in. But the great thing about this is you don't have an online manual. You've got a proper manual with it. So you can go through and you can read your manual. It is really, really user-friendly. You've got different ways here of how to lower your feed dogs. It'll show you exactly how to set the stop position of your needle. Do you want to go into the overhead? So you can see it's got these little circles there for your tension. It'll be able to show you how to adjust your tension, how you lift to the height of your presser foot. So you can go up to, it's set at standard at 6 millimeters, but if you want it to be higher, you can adjust it there. There's loads of different options and things to do. So if you wanted to write out the word Juki and combine it with little hearts, that shows you how you do it there. It's just a really user-friendly, simple way of doing it. You've even got the options then of setting your thread trimmer and how you end your sewing by using the edge of your presser foot there. So it's just a really cleverly thought out product that works so well in a different multitude of ways. And I just don't think anybody would regret it. You've got the zipper foot here. It'll tell you how to use that, leave your machine in lock mode. So it's got lots of different functions. Now I know this is definitely a considered purchase. It's a good chunk of money, but it's a good value machine. We all go out and we buy these machines sometimes and we're a bit, you've got loads of training on it. You've got the YouTube tutorial that we did previously with Gary. You've been able to see with me fiddling with my little bits and bobs today. There's loads of resources online. Juki have their own web page as well to go and ask questions. There are loads of forums about it. So go and ask people opinions of their machines. Don't just trust our opinion on it. Go and ask people, because Juki is such a great brand. Everybody I know who's got one always raves about them. So do your research, have a look, and we've got this. Not sure how long we'll be able to have it for, but we've got the 200 feet with it. Not sure how long that'll go, but it is a considered purchase. So take your time and research it as well as you can. And we're here to help. If you've got any questions, call the call centre. If they can't be able to help you, they'll be able to find somebody who can. And just what a really fabulous machine. And I've got to think about it, I know, but I've now got to think about how I get this into my car with nobody in the studio noticing, because it is an amazing product. It really, really is. And my design sew along jelly roll, not jelly roll, must stop saying jelly roll, design roll race that we're doing. I did that whole thing on this machine yesterday, and it's just a fabulous machine to work with. I cannot rave about it enough. So yeah, keep us posted. If we've got any messages on the Facebook page, drop them down, and you can drop us a line. You can chat to us live in the studio. Any questions you've got about the machine for the next sort of little while that we're on, make sure you ask us. We could then be able to answer the question if you'd like us to. We're here. If there's anything you want to see on the machine, we're able to then do that for you. So yeah, let us know what you've got to say. But I still need to figure out how to get this in my car. There we go. So now we've got lots and lots of different tools to show you. We've got these wonderful binding clips, which look a little bit like hair clips, but my goodness, they're really cute. And they work a bit like the Wonder Clips that we have. But these work slightly differently. They are little hair clips, but just such a lovely product. I've not used them before, but everybody I know who's used them raves about them, and I think they're really cute. Because, you know, I'm a Wonder Clip boy, but these are really, really affordable and a really lovely looking product, and I think a lot of people would really get a lot of joy out of them. So you can use these for binding, you can use them for holding PU together perhaps, because that wouldn't probably mark your fabric quite as badly. Really lovely products. So yeah, got those on them, and they're only $2.99. So if you bought something else for the day, it's just a nice little add-on to your purchase. Let us know what you think of them. If you use them, please drop us a message. We'd love to see them. So now we've got the quilting gloves. Anybody who does free motion quilting or free motion embroidery, you know that these gloves work really well. You've got these lovely little rubber pointy bits on the end. That's a little bit of a reflection there. I'm going to have to take these out to show you. Sorry. Going to just get Joe to reposition the cameras as well. Because with these gloves, I think with the glare there, you wouldn't have been able to see just how good these things are here. But it's got these lovely little, I want to say, I've got an Afrikaans word, knoppy bits, which are, it's just these little bumpy bits here, which work really, really well. And you can see there, those little bumpy bits on there. And they've got them on both sides as well. So I know when I'm doing my quilting, I'm a bit like this. So it's good to have the grips on both sides. But it's a lovely product and a really great price. These are medium to large sizes today, because obviously you get different sizes on them. But a really lovely, lovely product that use them for anything really, for all your quilting and that. Free motion embroidery. You can see these pop really, really well, and they're on both sides all the way along. Really lovely. I'm going to pop these back in the bag. And now we've got the fabulous ironing bag. Now I'm not sure, did I leave my iron on? I did not. Oh, rats. We'll just wait a little while for the ironing board to come on. Because I've not used this before, but what I've heard is it's really good. If you're looking to, oh, you can do this one. That's perfect. If you're looking to press your seams on a fabric, you put, so this is the pen, the curved bit on it. So what you're doing is if you're looking to press your seams, you put the seam on the curve. So you can see I've got the curve there, and you just go like that with your iron, and it presses it all perfectly. And you don't need an ironing board, which is such a cute way of doing it. I'd never even thought of this. And it doesn't damage the fabric. It doesn't damage the fabric, and it doesn't damage the finger. That's the word I was looking for, which is what we've called it, the ironing finger. It doesn't damage that at all, because this is completely heat resistant. And as I'm feeling that there, you can feel the heat of the iron, but it's not in any way distorted. And it's really, really good, this, for doing that. Sorry, just getting that there. You can see that just presses out beautifully. And the great thing with this corner bit is that it's really good for pressing out corners and to make things really nice and flat. And it looks a bit like a spatula, but you can see then if you need to get some corners out, or folding out a corner in a pocket, or I don't have a pocket on this to show you, but if you just pop that there, that would get that nice little corner bit out, nice and flat for your fabric when you're doing, when you need to just what's the word? Unsmush. I'm going to say unsmush a piece of fabric to get it done. There's a nice little picture of it here. You can see that that's on there, showing you what I mean. When you've got a little pocket of fabric, and then you put the nose of the finger in, and it just straightens up the edges nicely on that. So a nice little product that. The Clover Iron Finger is $15.99 today. And you can see it works really, really well. Now you saw previously that I'd used the roll and press to be able to just literally roll and press my fabric there really nicely if I didn't want to, if I didn't have an iron, or I was just doing a small bit of pressing. These work really, really well, and it just flattens your fabric beautifully to be able to get that nice and ready on that. So just a nice little product on that. And yeah, we are now on the pinking shears, I think. Got our pinking shears. I'm going to get a piece of fabric now. I'm going to use this little piece of fabric just because I know it's a scrap and I'm not going to be wasting anything there. So pinking shears are usually used for dressmaking, and it's to stop everything fraying, and it's got a lovely sound to it. Listen. Oh, I love that. It's like proper grown-up sewing, that noise. I love it. And a good pair of pinking shears would last you your whole life. They are just fabulous. And these are for dressmaking, obviously. 23 centimeters, 9 inches. Lovely purple handle. So those are $14.99. Really lovely fabric. Lovely product, that. Really nice. I love those. I don't even do dressmaking, and I want to buy a pair. They're really good. And now we've got the fabric markers. We've got 2 today. I'm going to start with the this one. What's this one called? The Magic Pen, the Madeira Magic Pen. And I'm going to draw on the fabric. So what I've got there, do I have something to iron on? Oh. I'm just going to put a lot of fabric here so it doesn't damage the mat. Sorry. Thank you, Joe. That was a 2-meter distance, I promise. So we've got you've now drawn on the fabric, and then this is if you've got anything drawn on. So if you were marking up something to sew, if you were marking up a quilt design, you would then have that on there. You would do your sewing, and then you would take your iron once you finish sewing it all, and you would pop that on there. Is this not the ironing one? I've used the wrong one. I'm doing the wrong demo here. Sorry about that. This one is air erasable, so it will just expire over time. Sorry, I got myself confused there. Because you've got different, got so many different products here, I get confused with them all. So this one, I'm just reading here, if you use them, it'll start to vanish after 2 days, depending on the fabric, or you just tap the marks with a moist cloth and they will disappear. Do not iron or wash with soap before removing. So this is the pen that you're getting. So this, I mistakenly thought this was the one that you ironed on. And I'm just reading here, you mustn't iron this one on. Do not iron or wash with soap before removing all lines. Test pen before use. So what we've done here is we've tested it and we've now read the instructions as we should have done beforehand, or I should have done beforehand. And this is to be, it'll evaporate over time. Otherwise just use a moist cloth and that'll come off. This one is the fabric marker, which does come off with a moist cloth, and it only comes off with a moist cloth. And we tested this the other day as well. So you just draw your lines on as you'd like and just use this one you draw the lines on, and then if you need to get rid of it, it will come off very easily with a normal bit of wet cloth. It come off nice and simply, and it just comes off nice and. We did the test on air, and it just comes off nice and easily. A few little rubs of a wet cloth that comes off automatically, and I think this one does the same thing. So we're now going to recap the Stripology square ruler, which I showed earlier. And what I was doing with that one is you would make your square like you've got here. And if you wanted to then square this down to 6 inches, actually I can do that because this one is 6.5, but I don't have a rotary cutter. So we are going to, no, it's fine. I can do that now. Thank you, Joe. So we're lining this up on our block, and we're now using our black lines on here to line this up to be in the middle of 6 inches. So you can see now I've got between 9 and 3. Let me just rotate this up a little bit so you can see when I'm pointing. So 9 and 3 over here is going to be our 6 inches. Perfect. And then what you're going to do is you just pop your rotary blade into that teardrop down the bottom and you press to the top, and then you go into the 3 to the top. You pull this out there, and then you don't move the fabric at all, and then you line this up so you know that you've already cut on the 3 line over there. You've got the 3 over there and the 9 over there. You know you've just cut those. So you line your black marks on the ruler here along there. And then you're going to cut on the 3 over there and the 9 over here. So you just centralize that. And if you'd folded a cross into it, there's a cross there that you would line up to. I didn't, I'm just eyeballing it. And because it's a scrappy one, nobody's really going to notice the difference anyway. So you pop your rotary cutter into the teardrop, cut along the top. Number 3, cut along the top. Okay, and then that's your Stripology ruler. It's a really lovely ruler, and you can use it as well for your normal Stripology, even if you don't want to square it. So it's a multi-ruler, this one. I think I've got some fabric here to do. Dum, dum, dum. So I use, this is one of my Bargello fabrics, so I know I need this to be 3 inches. So I'm going to create my dead end at the beginning, which is my 0 mark, and then I'm doing a 3, and then I'm doing a 6, and then I'm doing a 9, and you would just carry on going until you want to be finished. take the ruler off. This is your scrap that you won't use to get your firm line. There's your 1, there's your 3. So there's the 3 that you would need for a Bargello. And you can see that this is a multi-ruler, this one, because you've got the Stripology in it as well as the squares on it to be able to square everything up if you want to as well. And you go up to 12.5-inch squares on this as well, which is usual standard size for a quilting block. So it's just a really lovely product, and it combines a few quilts in together. I think the graphic that's up at the moment is not the correct one because that's for the Stripology ruler. This is the squared Stripology ruler, which is £44 if I'm not mistaken. I want to make sure we get you the right one. There we go. So this is the squared Stripology squared ruler, 12.5 inches for $44.99. The previous graphic we had in was for the big Stripology ruler, which goes to 20 inches, and that just does the Stripology. It doesn't do the squaring. So this would be a really nice... There we go. So we've also got, which I'm really pleased about, we've got this back in again now, our sewing machine pin cushion. Really cute little product. Love this. It's been on before in navy. We weren't able to get the black then, but we've got the black in now, and just look how cute that is. It's just such a sweet, and the detailing on it, I just love this little bobbin on the top, and the way that they've done the button as the flywheel on it is just very, very cleverly done. Tape measure all around the base of it, and then my favourite little bit is you've got the pin head as your needle point. I just love that. And you've got this little bit on the top here, which is really cute. A lovely, lovely product. And you can see the detailing over there. You've got the pins with the flowered heads, and you've got all the thread helper, the thimble, the safety pins, the tomato pin. A really lovely little, cute little present, nice little pick-me-up. It's just a nice little thing to have in your studio, in your little sewing room. It's just a lovely little product to have. And it's just also nice because you can keep all your different types of pins. I like having my pins in different things. So I've got my glass-headed pins in one section, I've got my flower-headed pins in another, I've got my flat-headed pins there, I've got my applique pins over there. And it's nice because I like doing it that way. And what I also do is I've got my old sewing machine needles. I never throw them away. What I do is I keep them and I put them all in a line at the back. And then I'm going to make a little hedgehog out of them one day. So I've then got a place to keep them all to go. But a really cute little product. I'm pleased we've been able to get that back. So we've had some fabulous products on today. So tomorrow, I'm not in tomorrow. We've got Neil for 3 hours. Oh, wonderful. It'll be nice. I'm sure he's going to bring us lots of joy and lots of lovely bits and bobs to show us. How exciting. With him, we've got fabrics and pre-cuts. We've got tools and storage at 9 o'clock, and then fabrics again at 10 a.m. 3 hours again tomorrow. We are now going to be 3 hours live going forward, which is very exciting. We're scaling up bit by bit. And it's just so lovely to have your company. I'm so pleased to be able to bring you all these wonderful things. Do check out the tutorial on this Juki as well that Gary and I did a couple of weeks ago. Such an amazing machine. You really won't regret it. Is a considered purchase, so keep having a look out for that one. If you want to check out all the products we've got on today's show and previous shows, it's www.sewingstreet.com. Anything you'd like to ask questions about or you'd like to order, you can call our UK-based call centre on 0800 001 4433. And please stay in touch with us on our Facebook pages, Sewing Street TV, as well as the Sewing Street fans page, Instagram @Sewing Street. I can't thank you enough for your time today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Thank you. Bye-bye.